Welcome back to the Luxago live stream. My name is Jacob. I'm here with Mickey, as always. And we got some news to go over, some charts, the usual stream, of course. But starting out, obviously, we are very red today. Let's take a look at the overall prices that we got going on right now. We got the Dow Jones down 0.5%. The SP 500 down 0.75%. And Nasdaq also down about 0.75%, so almost full percent on the SP and the Nasdaq. Man, what a red day. Retesting those lows from yesterday after that massive pump when we had some decent numbers come out yesterday, but this morning we did have the building permits hit as what it was expected, but of course we were down from last month. So assuming because of that, being down from the previous month, that we're definitely looking a little bearish on the day. So as you can see, yesterday, Tuesday, retail sales hit the numbers, actually ended up beating and lining up with the 0.8% from last month. Make sure you guys can see that. And yeah, had a very bullish day after that morning report. But then this morning, 8:30, this morning we had, we hit the numbers here a little more. We beat, actually, than what was projected. But I'm assuming for us to have a bullish day, we probably wanted to be as high as the 1.541 there. And then, obviously, we missed on this housing start. So, because of that as well, we're definitely bearish today. Crude oil inventory was down, so value up today a little bit. We're kind of settled off, I think, in the mid-80s. But overall, we've had our 1030 report there. Nothing too crazy besides the crude oil and building permits. Rest of the week here, we have jobless claims like always on Thursday. We have the Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index coming out tomorrow. So we'll see how that ends up. If that ends up being projected at what it is, we could actually have a decent day. And then we have FOMC speakers on Friday. I think we do have an FOMC speaker later today. Let me see here. We did, yeah, at 1 Eastern right now. Yes, 1 Eastern, sorry. We're literally right now. There's actually in the middle of it. 53 minutes, we have, a few other little small updates, but overall, bearish on the day, so we might as well just get into the charts and see what we got going on. We have a few things we do want to go over as well, but, we might as well get those charts pulled up here, and I don't even have my chart ready. So give me 1 second.
Nice.
Look at me go. Don't worry, though. Real quick. Pull that ish up. There we go. All right. Wow. Actually, in the middle of me talking here, we got a very nice pump here on the S&P. On the 5-minute, nice little jump up there. We've been all day, bouncing or trying to bounce. We had that crazy volatility this morning at a pretty key level. But then we retested this low-end liquidity that we had yesterday that we swept already. So technically, if we swept that liquidity, we bounce off. This is the 1-hour order block here. We might get a setup for a long, maybe into the middle of today. Obviously, we're already halfway through the day. We do have a, 3 hours left, 4 hours left. So it is a potential for some type of setup. But if we go into the 4-hour here on the ES, we were rejecting multiple time frame order blocks there from the previous swing high that we had on Thursday. Set some lower highs. Tried to have a breakout on Monday when we were streaming, but then ended up rejecting and now retesting these lows. So it really depends today. Can we flip back here and close green on the day? Or are we going to end up closing lower, which could drive us into, another move down? We do have, a pretty significant range that was formed here on the 4-hour for the ES. And then, off of this low here, let's see, we still have room for retracement. If we wanted to, take a long-term trade, we could wait for that, move back down to, the lower 4300s on the ES for a long-term trade. But same with the Nasdaq. Nasdaq rejecting that 4-hour order block up here off of in September, end of September, the 20th there, had a nice reject and retracement. Same type of situation lines up, but obviously the Nasdaq moves a little more aggressive. For Fibonacci levels, we are close to that 50% level. Again, I see this order block sitting here. That's what I personally would target, is this low here. The 15,000 probably level would be something that I would target for a bounce. But let's see, we're still kind of ranging off at the current moment. But for the Nasdaq, we're good on that. Let's jump over to gold futures. But let's look at the actual pair here. The gold pair was continuing to move. Now, we talked about this, and I'm actually on, and I want to go over a setup that I have here with multiple different price action concepts. I'm just, I've been experimenting recently with the price action concepts indicator, adding 4-hour, 1 hour, and 15-minute order blocks all together to see kind of how the order blocks line up. So that is what you're currently seeing. I know it's a little bit different. If we go to my old setup here, we can currently look at what we have going on. Let me pull up the oscillator matrix as well. Oh, I already had it up there. But in the current situation, I do have the reversal zones. I wanted to see, have we extended to the downside, on these lower time frames we have on the 15-minute there. You can see we're starting to retrace out of that this is ES again. But I wanted to go back over gold here because we did talk about a potential long on gold the last stream we had, and that would have played out very nicely, as you can see here. Let me take out the reversal zones for this, and then go back to, I think that's all we had on there. Yes, okay. Because of the oscillator, right? So I love the oscillator when I'm trading. And what we had here was that 3 signal. If we talked about a retracement, remember, I wanted to see a reset of the oscillator like we got here, lined up with a break of structure. That was a beautiful setup for a move to the upside there on gold. But big reason behind this, right, is we had the flip of that money flow, and then we extended to the upside. We got a reset here with a 3 signal, and it popped, right? Got a nice extension again, bearish divergence for a second. We consolidated, set a higher low, got a reset again, and a turning point right here with a break of structure. Both of those lined up perfectly for this next leg up. We've obviously been targeting this high, though. Remember, we were targeting the 1947, the 50s, really, because of that previous swing high. So hitting that would almost hit our target exactly. How can I see the square on the top right corner chart? I don't know what you're referring to there. But again, lovely little move so far off this higher low for, a move into what we would target is these order blocks. And I think there was an order block actually sitting right here before we hit it. But that would have been TP1. TP2 is up to the 1970s on gold as of now. But we are extended on the oscillator several times now. So the minute we do see some type of resistance, and we're already kind of seeing it from earlier today, we could possibly have a leg down. But let's go into now Bitcoin. Not Forex yet. Go check out Bitcoin for a second. New name for it, Bitcoin. We had that massive pump with the ETF news, but apparently it was fake. I didn't necessarily look into that. I don't know. Mickey, did you hear anything about it being fake for Bitcoin?
You don't want to hear my interpretation of fake.
Bitcoin by itself is fake. Bitcoin is fake. Okay. 4-hour analysis on this. Obviously, we're still in that 2 bullish signal, right? So being in that 2 bullish signal could indicate, that we might set up a higher low for a move up to an upper order block like the 29,500. We are currently in a previous resistance zone that's trying to act as support. That's always a good first indication that Bitcoin wants to rally higher. What I really do like is the fact that the oscillator is now coming back down, but it's still staying above that threshold, right? So staying as high above that threshold as we have at the moment. If we do get a turning point that is possibly occurring with this upward move that we're having right now on Bitcoin, we could get that turning point for a continuation of this bull run that we've already had. The only thing I don't like is we kind of have, this top that got hammered early this morning. We got that pump and then just got sold off. If you take a look at like a 15-minute time frame, we can see that top there that flipped into a small downtrend. But again, bouncing off this order block. So is that support key? For now, it is. Is it going to hold? That's what we're waiting to see. I'm going to go ahead and put on auto sensitivity for the signals and overlays. But there you go. Auto sensitivity showing us that this range is still chopped because of this this one signal. We talk about it being a retracement. But for the 4 hour here, super nice setup so far with that 3 signal if we get a turning point. So look for that turning point. So far still bullish because it is bouncing off this previous high right now. So if you got a target, you would say probably close to the 30K, maybe the 29.5, where that other order block is sitting. So Bitcoin for now, because of the money flow flip, because of the 3 signal, and it's still green, looking really good for a continuation so long as it holds. Going into our next one, we'll look at good old Euro USD, and then we're going to give it over to Mickey to go over it as well. I'm going to do a brief move here on Euro to show you guys what I'm seeing, and then Mickey, the guy who trades it more than I do, is going to go over it as well. But yeah, so let's see it. We had this 3 signal, right? 3 signal got broken. Still haven't had a adjusted signal yet, right? No bearish signal. So it's currently kind of in that no man's land type situation. You had a bounce off this order block for the 4 hour. We talked about how if it does come out of this, that we might get, a continuation, which we did. Ended up at an equal high and then now retracing again. But I do like that the money flow is staying super aggressive. So the money flow is staying aggressive on the 4 hour. We'll see if it wants to hold. And with that is this candle here, right? If this candle holds up, there is a potential of it continuing to the upside. For now, it's going to depend in 3 hours and 43 minutes. That is a lot of time. We're at the very beginning of this 4 hour candle. So probability states that this candle will more than likely retest that low rather than closing up. But at the moment, it is trying to get bought back. But normally, when price action moves in the proper way, it usually off of a big sell like this, if I were to take off signals and overlays, off of a sell candle like this, it retraces first before going lower. So we'll see how that ends up here. We can look at it again by the end of the stream because it'll be, we're 15 minutes in. So maybe about an hour 45 from now, I can look at it again. But current situation, been sitting in a positive money flow for a while. So it is quite an interesting setup at the moment. And then, your Fibonacci is currently on the uptrend side for a bounce, is bouncing. It did bounce off that 618. But if you were to take like a more move here off of, let's say, if you want to take a downtrend move, 618 also rejected. So in this case, that is your current trend because of the lower high. So taking the fib from that high to low there for a downtrend move, it is lining up nicely. But yeah, Mickey, you got your chart for the Euro USD you want to go over?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
I'm gonna flip you.
I'll go over the Euro USD, and then I want to flip it real quick. Back over to signals and overlays. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's head over to Euro USD. Here is the 4 hour chart. The gray and white order blocks are the charting time frame order blocks, the 4 hour. The color ones I have are the higher time frame order blocks. They are their dailies. You see? I can turn them on and off, okay? And we'll go into the settings. I have it set to dailies, okay? So the pink and green ones are the daily, right? So right now, the Euro USD is bouncing up from the daily, okay? But I had a swing trade. Going on. I took it from the fib fractal points. I'll turn it on, and I just missed again. Missed the entry, okay? Let's go ahead and enlarge this. What I did was, overall, this was a downtrend, as you can see, off this daily order block. we have some nice measured moves here, okay? What attracted me to this move was this pivot fractal point occurred very close to this 4-hour order block, okay? So I was hoping for one more leg to the downside to hit this daily order block below, okay? So let me turn on, in price action concepts, the internal highs and lows, okay? And I'll show you where I drew the fibs, okay? When this printed, I was on high alert, okay? And when this printed inside, this is where I drew my fibs, top to bottom. And my fib number, my entry was the 70% level. Unfortunately,
boo.
Yeah, I missed it.
By like
Missed it the
like
first time.
cent.
No big deal. Come back
Boo.
again, and I missed it again. All right, and this one was painful. It hit the order block. That would have been a nice move, okay? But you never know. I could still hold this position, the limit order, and see if it tags it again for one more try. But it's looking bleak right now, right? It's looking like it may turn to the upside, right? Lower low, higher low. If this prints another higher low, or if I see a market structure change to the upside here, I'm canceling the order. I'm out, okay? But yeah, I mean, I may have to follow suit with Jacob and change my golden pockets, right?
Yeah, I was saying he needs to do the 6-6-8 because that's just like the Fibonacci sequence, man.
Yeah, I wanted to be special, right? And I wanted a nice round, stupid number for me, and I, changed my golden pocket to 70 to 80.
Sorry, it's the 6-1-8, not the 6-8. 6-1-8.
Ooh, that would have really got me in, huh?
Really
let's
me.
Take a look at that. 6-1-8, right?
Yeah, let's see it. Boom.
Yeah, both those deals. But
that's
anyway,
why we're candle closed, man. That's nuts. I mean, try 68%. Maybe you start there. Start at 68.
Would have tagged me in both times.
Yeah, that would have hit perfectly, actually.
You're just how do you call it? Rubbing salt in the wound there, But no FOMO here. It is what it is, right?
Exactly.
It is what it is. The higher the greater my golden pocket, the safer I think I'm going to be, because if I enter at a premium level, my stop loss is that much smaller. My stop is at the 100% line, fib level, okay? The most optimal entry would be 80%. From 80 to 100 would be my stop. From 80 to 0 is my take profit. So hope everyone understands that, right? We sell high and we buy low. So what I'm trying to do with my personal golden pocket,
Trading 101.
70 to 80, it is my golden pocket where, you know what, I'm going to really sell at the extreme highs, right? But pretty much in theory, anything above 50% is premium. Anything below 50% is discount, okay? So that's my trade. I'm going to still hang on tight. It's still valid because I still believe the euro is going down while the dollar index is going up, okay? But I'll throw it back to you, and I'll get my charts ready for when it flips back over to me.
Oh, yeah, man. You're good.
Okay?
Again, guys, you want to go over anything specific in the chat, just post the asset with the time frame, and we'll go over that for you. You just let me know. You guide the stream because we want to hear from you guys, of course. Make sure we're covering everything you want to know. I do want to go over what I've been working on here with the multiple price action concepts order blocks, because I was like, this is the best part about our premium indicators is you can come up with ideas and then back test them and then be like, okay, this is good move, this isn't. I can go through multiple concepts based on what I think of when I'm, doing whatever. But in this case, I thought, it would be kind of cool to see multiple time frame order blocks on a lower time frame setup. So like, as you can see, I have them all discolored. The first aspect of, or the first version of the price action concepts I have is the 4-hour order blocks, right? I colored those yellow because I consider those like the golden blocks, right? Next was the 1 hour. I made those white because, it's just that next level, and it gives another, so you can notice when they do overlay on each other, you can easily see which is which. That's pretty much why I chose white. And then we have green here, which is the 15-minute order block. So reason being is now what I do look for is levels where they're overlapped, right? So this level this morning was overlap on the 15-minute and the 1 hour, okay? So notice this morning, and we had a lovely stop hunt from our favorite friends that make these markets, those market makers looking for that liquidity to drive it lower, right? We took out these highs, but guess what? We rejected right off that 15-minute order block. Okay, got a nice rejection off that 15-minute, as well as, we saw that 1 hour sitting there too. It never entered the 1 hour, but you can notice that this range that we had here, if we were to take, the high and low of that order block, both order blocks, that range we had there was clearly some type of resistance from the previous sessions, from London, from Asia, and from the early morning U.S. session. So nice resistance reject there. So that's one of those things where it's like, maybe I don't look for a setup until we clear out this liquidity that was clearly looking to be grabbed and sent lower. So nice little reject there. Harsh, you don't have to spam, of course. We don't have to spam, man. You can post it once and I'll see it. Eduardo wants that Amazon 4-hour. Of course he does. We always like it. But you know what? Why don't we just jump into it so you can get it nice and early today. Amazon 4-hour chart, getting that bearish move, which is very nice. We talked about possibly filling this gap before, which it technically almost did. But we are down with the market today. And that's the other thing is, I wanted to see Tesla had earnings, right? Nothing too crazy on their earnings. Of course, we had it yesterday after hours. Oh, wait, no. It's after hours today. Never mind. I thought they had it. Somebody was, yes, it was in Netflix. Boom. Netflix have theirs yet? No, it's today as well. So we have Netflix and Tesla this afternoon, and Netflix is already getting just demolished at the moment. So that'll be interesting. We'll see if that is set in that 1% that is down to, or almost 2% that it's down today. Curious Dreamer, let's see. Does we offer an indicator dashboard and a currency strength indicator? Yeah, you just type in currency strength, and there you go. Boom, Lux Algo currency strength indicator. And there you go, especially if you're, this is not going to be charted because we're not on any currency, but we do have a currency strength indicator. Let me see. Trend indicator dashboard. Yes. I mean, that's part of the signals and overlays. You get this trend strength here. Like ES currently in a 61% uptrend strength. So, that's pretty weak. Obviously, you can see it is weak. So, it's just part of, we have one that's part of our premium, and then we do have the free one is the currency strength indicator. So, just type in currency strength. You'll see it by Lux Algo there on whatever. Also, on TradingView. I do think that one is available for other platforms. So if we go over to the Lux Algo website, of course, we can see that we have it on another platform. I just need to pull it up here for you. Double check. There we go. So if I go to my libraries tab here and I type in currency, right? Here's your currency strength indicator. Let's see if it's available. Yeah. So we also have this available for MetaTrader, NinjaTrader, and MetaTrader 4. So both MetaTraders, not available on Thinkorswim yet, but you can use it on other platforms too if you don't want to use it on TradingView. But let's get back to the charts for you guys. Somebody wanted to see Amazon. Amazon. Edward looks weak, man. The pound versus what? The Japanese yen? Yes. Pound against the yen. All right. 4 hour. In our current situation, we tested this 4 hour order block on the downside here. We exited it and had a nice upside move. In the current situation that we are in, I'm going to just have actually on this setting the oscillator. Ooh, the oscillator matrix. Yeah, there we go. Oh, multiple things here. There we go. That strategy was bearish, man. It was red as could be. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, oscillator matrix with the pound versus the yen. We bounce off that 4 hour order block there, right off the 50% level. Test it twice, bounce again. You can notice the money flow is still super bullish. So in my opinion right now, you do probably want to kind of just wait for a structure move. So does it break out of this high of these ranges? Does it break the low of these ranges? For now, leaning bullish, oscillator sitting at 50%. That's for the 4 hour. We jump down to the 1 hour here. I mean, this can't be a more clean range to be trading. Look at the amount of order blocks sitting here on all 3 time frames at this low. So clearly, even back here, this was significant. The 181, below 180, 180, super significant. Now, this is why I always am scared to trade Forex, because these massive wicks, but I'm assuming that's just off of some news-related move. So essentially, if you wanted to day trade, that was at 6 a.m. So like during the New York session, you would have been fine the other day. So yeah, yesterday. But again, double top here, right? Double top came back down. So this could be actually shifting to continue lower. So on a lower time frame, triple top. What am I even seeing here? We got 1, 2, and 3 tops here. So definitely a range, but in that case, lower for now, especially on the lower time frame. We have the 1 hour. We jump down to the 15-minute. We can see that same resistance that we had, bouncing off these order blocks again, but setting that lower high as we speak. So what's kind of cool is we do have, a bullish change of character forming here, but notice the oscillator fully hasn't changed yet. So we set several lower highs on the oscillator. We had a, higher low from this previous low with that divergence kind of linked. Did have a nice move up. But if this does turn and that oscillator doesn't flip bullish, then you could have a nice lower high to continue this 15-minute trend that already formed earlier today. I read it open. So for now, this range is just stuck. If you want to go long-term, you got to wait for this range to break. So you either want to break out of, this 182.8, 81, or below the 180, 150. So those are the levels to watch for a long-term trade. Short-term, I'd like it a little more to the downside. But, we always talk about the 4 hour being our favorite time frame to look at. Let's see. Anybody else had anything they wanted to look at? If you guys want to look at anything specific, I'll look at US 30 here next. We look at crude oil. Yes, I love me some crude oil. But we'll look at the US 30 now. And yeah, again, if you want to look at anything specific, just shoot it our way, and we will look at it for you and see what we got going. I should have looked at, actually. Let me look at the this pair on the signals and overlays as well. So yeah, there you go. We talked about being bullish flow. We got that 3 signal. It's still bullish, but intraday time frame, like the 15-minute, still looking a little weak in my opinion. There's that one with the retracement. So we'll see if this wants to set up here. So yes, next up, let's look at the US 30, the Dow Jones, Mr. Dow. Mr. Jones. Should we call it Mr. Jones, Mickey, or Mr. Dow?
Mrs. Jones to you.
Mrs. Jones? Okay, Mrs. Jones it is. Miss Dow Jones. All right, US 30. 4 hour. First thing I noticed is look at the weakness coming out of this oscillator. It's about to break to the downside. Super bearish. Well, look at it now. It's already breaking. It has that change of character. And honestly, with this one, I'm just going to bust up the Miss Jones. Sean said Miss Jones. Let me up those the actual so you can see what's going on up here. the internal market structure. So we did have, a bullish BOS into a change of character, and another change of character, another change of character. That, is indicating chop. Well, how do I know it's choppy? Well, you got multiple change of characters forming, right? The other thing you can look at is the oscillator. Look at the it's what we call coiling, right? So when you see multiple turning points, we have it coiling. So that could indicate no proper level to be trading. Wait for those breakouts, wait for the breakdowns, whichever way you might head. In my opinion, you want to see these big moves that are extended before considering a reversal or a type of setup. So right now we're seeing that the oscillator, the points are starting to spread out. This change of character might be a better one to consider at this point. We are still within this range, though. So US 30 for now on the 4 hour, definitely bearish. Oscillator is coming out of bullish flow after it peaked, came back down and peaked again. So it peaked twice. You had an equal high, of course, several times. So this is just ready to kind of maybe fall off into this lower 4 hour order block. So we go to the 1 hour chart. We can kind of look at what else happened. Well, first off, you got very bearish selling coming from even this recent spike. This is the 1 hour that just occurred, right? It rallied back up, rejected these lows that it had, and now it's back down. Notice the 1 hour order block was rejected several times, and then came up, set a lower high, and now heading lower again. So currently retesting this order block, you are extended a bit on the oscillator. So this is one of those situations where you could look for that retracement for another entry. You look for the money flow did flip, and it well over hit that threshold. So the volume was strong, but maybe a little bit of a retracement, which this here is interesting on the retracement already. But getting that, lower high again for a retracement down. What I'm seeing here, though, is multiple levels of order blocks sitting on the 1 hour here. You got a 1 hour order block, you have a 4 hour, which is the gold one, and then you have a 15-minute, which is the green. So coming back down to this level would be a very nice target for the 33,600 level. Could be a nice bearish target after a possible setup, right? In my opinion, you would probably want to see, you could pull your fib from here. Now, we don't have a proper swing point yet on the lows, so we need a proper swing point for a fib setup. So we can't pull a fib until we get a proper swing point. But in the current situation that we are in, if we want to look for a proper retracement level to enter on, what do you see in your own analysis is you have a change of character here for a reason, right? Because that's, it's properly changing structure. But also you have a support level that occurred here. So this support that was previous resistance as well is probably going to be, well, look at that. It already went up and touched it and then rejected, right? In my opinion, for a proper setup on US 30, I would want to get a retracement to there, find an entry. But at the same time, let's just say that was the low. If we were to play off this high, you can see the 3.8 does line up there. It's starting to enter that golden zone on the Fibonacci. But there you go. This is where you could start to say, hey, this resistance and support, if it wants to actually be a proper entry level, we need price to extend just a little bit more. So get that 50% level sitting right dead center of that. That's where you would want to see, okay, this might actually be a really good setup. So that with the oscillator flipping back is where I would look for on a short opportunity. So at the current moment, it does look bearish, but I think it does need to stretch a little bit farther before we get a nice trend reversal. So that's US 30 1 hour, the 15-minute. I mean, look at that. Perfect reject there off of previous support. But a lot of liquidity down here that it would like to retest. So let's see if it enters that first or if it wants to go back up. But for now, it's not yet there for a nice setup. So let's see. Next up, somebody wanted crude oil. Yes. Me likey crude oil. Anything specific? Like, do you like looking at crude oil, Mickey, or do you like?
Yeah, once in a while, I
trade
look
some
at
crude?
the commodities. I like to look at crude, corn, and lately natural gas. Those are the three.
Yeah, Nat gas actually had a trade on the other night. About 10-point trade. It's pretty good. It was overall did not look very strong off that high, especially because of these multiple order blocks. But let's look at the crude oil real quick. Sorry, because that's what we wanted to see. Now, notice this is coming from a low. Obviously, we are super extended in the 90s. Very expensive on crude. We had the inventories today. Let's go look back at the inventories again really quick. So we had the 10:30 inventories, of course, this morning. Usually every Wednesday. Where'd it go? There you go. So it was negative 4.4 million. So that's why we potentially got, let me see here, this move that we had today. If you draw back to 10:30 this morning. Let's go to the lower time frame. Sorry about that. Oh, I'm going all over the place here. Nope, that's not what we want. Not the 70s. So 10:30 this morning was right here. Boom. You can see that spike that we had there and a lower high that was formed and had a nice rally. Remember that, when you get these spikes, especially you need to identify where we're at. We've rejected a recent high, right? We're coming back down. We had this low from this opening gap that we had. And then we ended up bouncing right off of it right when the report came out. So showing this nice support. This is the candle setup that I really like. I always talk about on stream. I call it a no wick retest, right? So here's your wick low. This candle opened up here and then closed up over it. You could also call it an engulfing candle, right? That's an engulfing. You have a turning point on top of an engulfing on the oscillator. So very nice little, multiple level of formation. You knew that news was coming out. Sorry, on this one. But again, here, it happened twice. News came out at 10:30. I was looking at 9:15. But same type of situation. You were to wait for that news. Had that no wick retest. That happened here. And it engulfed it once again. Two engulfing candles at the same level. So that was the first indication that, this is going to set up nicely. Got the higher low along with the break above the 50 level on the oscillator and the decrease in the bearish money flow. And then you had a nice little move up here. Current situation on crude oil on a higher time frame, though, we're stuck, right? We're stuck at this 86.50 to 88, range. Today, one of my another indicator that I do like to look at that we have is called the supply demand profiles indicator, right? This indicator is pretty cool. So what I like to do is take the close of the day before. So let's see here. Let's go to the 15 actually. Sorry. On like a 15-minute time frame. I like to take from, Tuesday, when it starts on Tuesday, the 1800, so day before, all the way up until this morning's open, right? So 9:30, boom. Oh, there we go. So here you go. And then it gives me this nice little footprint style supply-demand setup. If we go back to 9:30 open here, if it'll show up. Hopefully, I might have to replot it. Supply demand profile. So the supply demand profile, if I take it, replot it here, I'm just gonna do to 9 a.m. It shouldn't change much. We notice there's a key value range from the previous session, right? Our key value range is right here. These blue lines identify it. We have, a lot of imbalance down here. It's not very strong volume outside the key value range. So when I see this value range alongside these order blocks, right, I can see up here that there is a, significant level. Okay. So if I were to trade up to this level, I would want to break through that key value range and then see if I could bust through that order block. If not, I might take a trade on the outside of these value ranges as well. And you can see here already, there's this order block here, and it's currently rejecting the top of that key value range because it lined up. It's going to automatically line up with the most significant support and resistance. So notice that reject that is occurring with this order block up here. This is a 1 hour order block, and this is just on the 15-minute. The supply and demand profiles indicator is free, so you can get it on TradingView, and I don't know if it's available on every platform, but it's one of those things where it's going to help you identify what parts have, imbalances, what parts are mostly just all the trading volume, right? So coming off of this morning, we had a close underneath, right? But it ended up closing back up in it. So seeing something like this from this early morning, like this, closing outside of it, closing back in it, I could indicate, okay, it doesn't want to leave this range just yet. We could have, a nice upside trade, which we ended up bouncing twice, almost 3 times we had that leg up. Now we touched the top of that range. I would have targeted the top of that range for a trade, right? So you could have targeted that, and in that situation, you had 105 ticks. You had $1 move, which is pretty average on a crude oil trade. So seeing that, profile range there, I could trade it either on the outsides or if it's at the bottom of a range, and then I trade it back to the top of the value range. So I love having those to look at as a feature, but the order blocks paired with it can really help with identifying what is a key level to target as well. And like you saw there, a reject that occurred just now on the 15th. So for crude in this current situation, I'm not a huge fan of it to the upside. Like even on a 4 hour, we have a lot of consolidation, but it kind of fell off. It peaked here. You can see it extended. It fell off a bit and it rejected once again. So for now, I'm bearish on this thing. But if I'm going to take a trade, like an actual trade on this, I want it to break this swing low that it has and then come back for a retest once again. Because what you're going to make the most money out of trends, right? When you hit these trends, I mean, look at this move it had, these lower highs it had, made these massive moves on the 4 hour. This here, I rather have, a nice, let's see here. How many dollars is this? A nice $9 trade, right? Than some $1 trade. So that's why I say when I do like day trading, I trade on the eval accounts. I always trade on prop firm accounts because I don't like taking short trades like that on any other accounts that I have real money in. So if I'm day trading, it's always on evaluation accounts because I know I can put on a little more risk, and like if it fails, then I didn't blow a bunch of money. And then I can, work on looking for bigger setups for, potential actual trades. So if you trade eval accounts only, then again, if you want to look for a longer swing trade, then wait for that structure shift on either side of this range. For now, looking bearish on crude oil. Next up, natural gas. Yes, I think natural gas would be a good move. Link USD 4 hour. Actually, sorry, I'll go over natural gas in a second. Let's look at Link USD. Will, are you still here? Williest. Are you still here, my friend? Mickey, if you want to touch on any of these things, you just tell me, man. I'll handle it.
Yeah, but I do want to say something, though.
Yeah, what's up? You just interrupt me, man. I kind of can go off sometimes.
Yeah, I love your new colors on your chart.
Do you like my new colors, man? Is this
yeah, I noticed that. Love it. Hey, you know me in colors. Love it.
Yeah, you love the colors, man.
That's good. Good stuff.
Let's look at Link here. So first thing I do notice, again, is that massive, massive pump and dump, right? It pumped it and it dumped it. So set that lower high so far. I'm bearish, very bearish right now. Set a lower high here. Notice here, we don't have a lower high yet on the oscillator. We are still extended on the buy side on the money flow. So I really want to wait for that turning point. Dear Jacob, can we predict how the stock will behave tomorrow? Yes. No.
Tell us, Jacob.
We wait until we get a setup, and then we have our edge, and if our edge doesn't play out, well, we just wait for the next setup. So it's always fun to get winning trades, but at the end of the day, you're always going to have losers. No matter what, nobody's 100% right. So in this case, we try to find our edge, and then we trade accordingly. Let's see here. We were talking about the rate scares is just, pretty common right now. On a red day, they're like, oh, they're going to increase rates. Like, that's like the headline every single time. So that's what we put on there. But building permits were down from last month. It hit today, and so we think that's why we're mostly bearish today, because of the building permits. But let's go over Willis, whatever it is, his name is. Will's Link USD 4-hour chart. Right now, we have conflicting trends, Will. But I will say it's a little more bearish than bullish. Why? Because we didn't fully break on a candle close. But this higher low here, if I just tick off all these order blocks here, just normal price action's sake, this higher low got retested. So that's the first indication, seeing a higher low get retested, first indication of a trend change, right? Is coming back and seeing if this higher low wants to hold or if it wants to break lower. Usually if it does, though, retest it, it's going to act more weak than strong. The other thing is you had a lower high from this previous. So we're in a current overall downtrend, right? But we do have a start to a conflicting uptrend. So in this case for now, in normal analysis, we see that, we are in a very aggressive downtrend. Now, we did set a higher low for the time being, but for you now, it's another no man's land type situation. You really need to see, if we were to go lower, this low get broken that previously acted as support. If we go back to our order blocks here, we can see, I keep clicking the wrong thing. Our order blocks here, we can see we clearly treated this same wick as a level of reject once again. Had a 30% on the 1 hour, had a nice 1.5 million on the 4 hour with the reject there. So in this current case, that clearly acted as resistance. So I'm bearish at the moment. Now, we do have this swing low. I don't even want to see. What is this fib pull to from this high here? There you go. You have a 50% reject, so it's just everything's leaning bearish at the moment for Link. I won't say that it's going to be super aggressive. This is only the 4 hour, so if you're like a long-term holder, then I wouldn't stress about it too much because of, let's look at a daily chart here. I mean, look at this pump that it had recently. This is currently now on a daily, just having a little retracement. That's all. Had a nice change of character, a little nice pump, extended, retested the high. Now it's retracing a little bit. If you pull a little fib on this, it probably has some room to run. And it does. It has some room to come back down here to the 50, right? Down here to the 50 level still, setting lower highs. But, I mean, it's just kind of, you're in a good spot, I would say. I mean, clearly there's resistance here, right? There's resistance at this $8 level. So seeing this, nice little move that we had, just recently in September, I wouldn't be too worried about this going too much lower just yet. Until you kind of break that structure. So you could also consider this on the daily. It might be a little late for a bull flag, but could be a bull flag forming. Not a huge fan of where it's at, but like if this were to be a bull flag, then we need a pump here in the next day or two. And then we might retest that high. Current situation though, honestly, let's look at Link on signals and overlays. See where we're at for the 4 hour. I like that daily because of that pump we had. So we flipped, into this. We just hit a 3 signal. So look at the daily though. There you go. So I don't even have daily order blocks up. Let's look here. Let's just do that. So as a tutorial for you guys that, have our premium indicators, if you want to add like a session of order blocks, right? I'll click on price action concepts again. Notice I have 3 going on here. I'll click it again. It's already on the daily. But if I want to see that daily order block on every time frame that I click, I go into the settings and I scroll down here and I click time frame under volumetric order blocks time frame, and then I'll click the daily. Hit 1 day. So now those will be on every time frame. Now, what I do like to do is for this sake, I keep overlap off, I keep it on each one. And I just increase the amount of order blocks. I put 500. I think the max is somewhere in the hundreds, but I just put 500 to be safe. So I can see every order block on the daily. Now, what I can see, though, is when I go to like a 5-minute chart on Link here, it's going to be crazy at first, but if you zoom in, it's going to make a little bit more sense. I can see those daily. Well, sorry, on the 5-minute, I might not because of the amount of order blocks that are allowed. But this is where you also have to go in and make sure that you change the color. So we don't have like a pink order block. So I'm going to make it pink so I know which is which in my head. And so
God, you are just speaking my language here.
So you can see the pink order block is up there, but this 15-minute is not pulling up that. Let's go to the 1 hour and see once it pulls it up. 1 hour might be the earliest that it does. Wait, or maybe I'm just off on the. Okay, so there's that daily. So here's the daily order block. Let's go to the 4 hour. You should be able to see it there. Yeah, it's up here. Okay. So because it's a daily, it's going to be way higher up at the 850. But that makes sense. It makes sense why it rejected that. Let me go back to the daily. Sorry. It's because there's an order block sitting there. It's just, a significant level. It's hit it twice. So this is a good indication that it could, when it retests the next time, it could rally, right? So a good indication that it could rally through that high once it goes and retests it again because it's already retested it twice. So if we do get a nice breakout, then I think you're gonna look good there. I'm gonna turn those off though because on a lower time frame it doesn't. It can matter eventually, but in the current analysis, and there you go. You're breaking back down on it at this current moment, like we talked about. There's your structure shift, and you're retesting this area here at low. So for now, bearish, but see if it sets up again down here at 730. Okay, let's go to the next thing. Someone wanted the Euro USD. John wanted SPX. We can go over ES again. David, does trendline feature work? Yeah, I would use it as identifying what the trend currently is. SPX, yeah. Let's look at ES and SPX. ES and XPX are the same. They're going to move the same. And wow, we had a pump and dump again here. But what I'm noticing is the oscillator here on the 15-minute. Notice how it came all the way down, but it was downtrending, right? That's why the oscillator is nice. It can give you early indications that we might get a reversal. Downtrending, but it broke back up. So with that, if this actually sets up, there could be a trade opportunity, right? Let's go further into like the 5-minute here. 5-minute. Yes, we have many liquidity indicators, and I was actually going over one of my favorites earlier there, King. And I can go over it again and actually set up nicely today once again. And it is the supply demand. This is one of my favorite ones. Supply demand profile. If I go to, let's see here. I like to go to previous day, close, and then open. So it was Tuesday. Let's see, right at the edge of Tuesday. Well, today's Wednesday, actually. So let's go Monday at 1800 hours. Where you at? 1800. Boom, right there. And then I like to go to Tuesday open. Or sorry, Wednesday open. What am I doing? Where are you at? Right. Goodness gracious. There we go. 15-minute chart. Here we go. So this morning, we talked about earlier. I'm not going to replay mode because it's probably going to screw it up. Hold on. All right, we talked about earlier that, we want to target those imbalances and shoot. When we break out these value ranges. Now thinking about it, I do kind of need to have these up, of course. So, hopefully this doesn't mess this up. Me, man, if it does, it probably will. Replay mode's always weird. Oh, it didn't. Okay, cool. There you go. A lot of order blocks showing up here. I'm just going to take off a few, but just so you can see this in the original analysis. Starting off, though, right? If we go back to open, which is, let's just go to this candle. Please stay on there. There you go. We notice that from yesterday's and overnight session into yesterday's session, our value range was between the 4380 and 440375. You can see there 437850. So today we were noticing at open that we had bearish money flow, right, on the oscillator. So first thing I want to see is a breakout to the downside of this, and then I would target like the previous, lows, and like in this case, targeting those previous lows from that level would have been about a 12-point move, which is very solid trade, especially if you're trading minis. So we did get a break here, but notice it closed back up, right? So we want to see a full candle close on the 15-minute of that level. So we got a full candle close there. No. So Brad, watch. I can go to... Brad asks, do you have to re-add the supply-demand indicator for each chart when you pull up a new chart? So like ES here, if I went to CL, right? Watch. It'll map out the same time frame. And notice what happened today. Today, where do we see imbalances? Let's see. Is one say, yep, right here. 430. It touched the imbalances up here that it previously had, rejected, and we broke out of that zone right there just recently, and then we ended up rejecting again. So it's just, it should automatically switch over. But let's go back to ES. So ES and my replay mode messed up. So like I said earlier, I want to see a full close on a 15-minute, underneath that value range, which we got here. So we got that full close here. And then, we look for our entry. Now, if you wanted to go to a lower time frame to set a shorter stop loss, you could. Now, we currently were entering, this lower order block. But if we were to just talk about, the current structure and on the 15-minute order blocks, which is here, we would target, right at that 50% level. So it'd been about a 7-point trade. Normally, on a 7-point trade, I would look for, a pretty short stop. If we were to dive into a 5-minute chart here off of this candle, at first I would have my stop way up here because of this crazy swing point that we had. But if we step forward, we can finally figure out, well, it wouldn't have mattered. But again, that first leg down there, then I set my stop above this candle high. So because that candle was so aggressive, you don't really know where it's going to head next. So, if you have the proper risk to reward, you could, one lot there would have been fine off of that. So having a stop up there would have been okay. But then getting that first candle formation, especially after the pump and dump there, the probability would state that, we're not going to have another big candle like this. So we're going to get another candle in order for you to set a proper stop loss. You could also set it, if you wanted above this previous reject that it had. But in this case, I would have probably waited one more candle after my entry to reset my stop. So there you go. To that 7-point move there, we would have had it pretty quickly. And then it retested this 15-minute order block on the downside there, which is very nice. But that's just something, that helps you identify. And this is a free indicator too, by the way. Helps you identify those ranges. But I do use the order blocks to help identify my targets and reject zones as well. So here, on a 5-minute, I technically wouldn't had to have that up because I noticed we had that order block reject as well as on the 15-minute. Very aggressive level there to be targeting. In this current situation as well, notice that we came down through here. And now we're currently starting to bounce off of this level here. So waiting to see if we can exit this would be ideal. We exited here and had a retracement, right? And now we're showing a possible setup. But you don't just fully, especially on a 15-minute, don't just fully want to see a trade right out of the gate once it breaks this. You want to see a retracement for a proper entry. Because, again, we're sitting at this previous liquidity zone that's been fully swept now. But it's definitely showing another pivot here that's trying to bounce off of. But in the current ES and NQ situation, crazy volatility today. NQ trying to hold that previous low from yesterday. rejected yesterday at these highs. Notice the 4 hour and the 1 hour stacked against each other, which is beautiful for a proper reject. So if you're in your earlier PL, I was talking about how I've been trying something new where I have multiple levels of order blocks, right? So this one here, this price action concepts, is my 4 hour order blocks. This one is my 1 hour order blocks, and this one is my 15-minute order blocks. So now on any time frame, I can see all three of those order blocks. That's why I have multiple instances of it. Now on one, you can just set, you can set whatever you want. But if you want to see them all at all times when you're going through your different time frames, you can just have them all up like that. I would suggest coloring them different, and then so you know which is which. In the current situation on the NQ, mega downtrend still. Don't fight that trend until you get a confirmation that it wants to break. 15-minute is always a good time frame to look at. Crude oil is still coming back down. Gold setting that lower high. Man, that had a nice little dip there. Actually, gold so far it looks pretty bearish. Look at gold here. High. You got 3 times reversal signals on the way up here. Finally, this is pre-market, so I don't trust pre-market volume. Finally got a possible turning point on this one if it closes for a trade to the downside. Jared, what are you talking about? What part isn't stable? Let me know. I'm happy to answer your question, my friend. Nat gas. Let's take a look. 1 hour reject today. Beautiful. Let's go to that 4 hour chart. 4 hour coming off a high as well. So we're really trying to find that support here on natural gas. I took a short on the daily time frame the other day off this candle close. I had a trade off of the close of this candle. So once market opened, I took a short off here around $3.12. It did pay off very nicely into the next day. But now it's tough, man. I would want to see if this could fully engulf. I mean, we have 2 hours left, which is a little rough. If this could fully come back and recover on natural gas, like I do like it for a bounce. In this current situation, though, it's not looking strong, which kind of sucks. I mean, even here, we don't have much room. Yeah, I got a turning point. Nothing too crazy I like there. Let me pull it up on the signals and overlays on the daily. Yeah, we're still in a 3 signal here. Daily chart, downtrend. 4 hour. Got a 4 signal reject. Yeah, 4 hour does not look good on natural gas. And it's rejecting that. I mean, this thing actually set up for a retest of this low. Sub $3. What do you got?
Well, don't forget, I mean, we had the crude oil and nat gas news release early today. So
right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense why it's
chopping.
Yeah, I keep forgetting those numbers were down.
I think the move's over maybe.
Wait a second. Let me double check what the numbers were. Yeah. I'm pretty sure the numbers on here is the surplus difference. Because like last Thursday, right? We had the pump. Last Wednesday. Let's look at last Wednesday. No, right here. Yeah, last Wednesday we had that pump because we were positive. This or negative, so or that's nat gas. I'm assuming. So let me see last Thursday or Wednesday. I don't know why I keep saying Wednesday or Thursday. Gosh, I'm getting all my things mixed up now. Yeah, we're pretty stable right now on crude. You guys want to go over anything else? Let me know. Man, I'm actually considering a short on nat gas again. Yeah, dude, this nat gas.
What are you looking at? What are you looking at?
Natural gas for short, honestly. Or man, gold here. Gold's trying to bust through. You have gold up there too. Doge. Man, let's look at Doge. I haven't looked at Doge since the crazy Doge moves. Man, what a time to be alive. If you traded Doge during that time, it was like the most fun trading you're ever going to have. Had some crazy. That was when FTX was still real. Oh man, what a time. That was so fun. We haven't looked at the Dixie yet. Ooh, King wants to look at the Dixie there, Mickey.
Oh, I got my chart ready. I've got some tips and tricks ready.
I think Mickey wants to pull up the Dixie chart for you. We'll pass it over to him. I'm gonna look at some other stuff here. Actually, I might have to go to the bathroom, so I'll be back. Did I go over the creation of alerts on PAC? I got here late. One for bulls and one for bears. You want to go over Dixie first or that? Should I go over that first, or you want to take?
Yeah,
Dixie?
go ahead. Go. Yeah, do the alerts.
Okay. So alerts on PAC. Is there anything specific that you would like to go over, Brad? Like change of character, order blocks. Like, you just let me know real quick. BOS then Chach. Okay. Oh, the mixture of the two. So like I said before, if you want to do it in one indicator, all you have to do is do the custom alert creator, right? If you want to do it on one instance, and then you do so if you want to, you have to do 2 instances or just set up, or you do have to do 2 instances. So if you want a BOS to Chach setup, first you have to do here on custom alert creator, you have to change this to internal. Let's see, do BOS first. So internal bullish BOS. Let's say we want to say an upside. So we want to see a bearish BOS into a bullish Chach, right? So internal bearish BOS, you do that. And then go to the order blocks. This is a very easy way to do it. Go to the order blocks, make that step 2, and then say bullish order block. So now if I hit OK, you'll see here when we get that type of setup. If I can get it here. I forgetting ES has been super choppy lately. Let me go to the 4-hour here. Lower time frame so we can just get an instance here. Let me turn off. So this one, yeah, that one has the. Let me turn off the other ones. Okay, here you go. So here you go, right here. See how this here lined up? Chach. There's a dot there, a blue dot. So you got the Chach there after a BOS. Boom, had that rally. So that's how you set up the bullish one. And then what you would do is you would say add alert, right, to that instance of price action concepts. You'd go down to the custom alert condition, right? Custom alert condition. So you see that blue dot, that would signal me when we had a bullish, like that bullish setup. You do once per bar close on the alert, and then you could say, bullish Chach setup here. So now every single time that triggers, that'd be the bullish one. So then you have to do another instance of price action concepts. Go to your settings, go down to the bottom again, and then you do the complete opposite. You would say tick these 2, make sure the second one, step 2. You do any internal bullish, then do bearish order block. This, it seems like it's off, but it will work the same way because they're calculated very similar. So you had one here, right? Let me see. Wait, I have the other one. I might have messed up that instance there. Oh, I have sorry. You have to make sure too that the order blocks you have set are on the same time frame before you do this. So this was on the daily, so make sure it's on chart here, it's not gonna work, right? So order block bearish, order block bullish BOS. Here we go. There we go. So now right here, boom. See? BOS into a bearish change of character. Make sure the order blocks are on chart there. And then I can go in, I can set an alert. I go down to custom alert condition, only once for bar close, and I say, bearish BOS or bearish chotch setup, right? And there you go. You have to have 2 instances though. So because that one was weird was because I had the time frame on the order blocks on 1 day. So make sure, and actually that just gave me a cool idea to test something as well. Make sure that's on chart though, because they're gonna line up each time for the chotch. So yeah, there you go. That hit, boom, man, look at that massive down run. Let's see the other one it had. I'm gonna put on both of the. Well, you won't see the other one. Was there another one? Yeah, there's one right here. And that had a retracement, and now it's trying to go lower. Ooh, maybe because of that, it's going to go lower. But yeah, you'll have one.
Order blocks.
Look at that late order block. That late change of character there. I wonder why. Oh, it's because of this pump we had. All right. I'm going to let Mickey take over to go over the Dixie here, and then I'm going to go to the bathroom, and then I'll be back.
Awesome.
What are the other options in the market structure and the pull down? I mean, if you just go into the settings, you can see them. But they have several options. So the reason I'm saying that is because if you want them to line up, you can. But this is how to do it in one instance of the price action concept. It's going to work the exact same way. But see, it has to. If you want it to happen one and then the other, you can do it this way. You can also do an external step here, right? Through this, and then another instance of price action concepts. But then you would have to have 4 instances of price action concepts to get both sides, right? So I'm just saying this is the easiest way to do it within one, and it should give you the same results. If it doesn't, just on the next stream or sometime, just let me know. But it should give you the same results. Let me know if that doesn't happen. Now, take us away, Mickey, on the Dixie. Also, you can go over gold too if you want.
Sure. No problem.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
See ya. Anyway. All right, gold. I got a gold chart. I want to go over my 4-hour order block setup. Right, there was nothing on the ES, and I'll show you why I made the decision that there was nothing on ES. I want to go over gold. Simple setup, nice and easy, and then I want to go over a tips and tricks on the signals and overlays. Okay, really simple. Okay. First up, we have gold, 4-hour order blocks. The gray and the whites are the 4-hour order blocks. The colored pink and greens are the daily order blocks. Okay, let me demonstrate. I'll turn off the dailies. Now we have the 4-hour order blocks on a 4-hour chart. Let me overlay the daily order blocks. Okay, so my rule of thumb is on a 4-hour chart, I want to see price exit an order block or reject from an order block. What I mean by an order block is the 4-hour charting time frame order block or the daily order blocks. I want to see price exit one of these order blocks or be rejected from one of these order blocks. Okay, so today we have one play. Let me enlarge this a little bit. Okay, price was inside this order block. There's only 2 plays I'm looking for. Okay, I am looking for a bust out, a long path, right? That's path 1. The second path, I want to see price break down from the order block. When I mean order block, I mean this daily order block here, okay? So price took the upper bullish path for now, okay? Let me delete that path, right? Delete that path. So as of right now, I have made a decision. I am only looking for longs above this order block. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down to a lower time frame. My entry time frame. For me, it is the 15-minute time frame. It could be the 5-minute. It could be the 1 minute. It does not matter. Okay? Just pick something that fits your style. For me, most times it's 15 minutes. Okay? Let me bring this. Let me pull up the 15-minute. All right? Let me clean up this chart a little bit. Okay. To make this less confusing, I'll do this. That is the 15-minute chart with 15-minute order blocks. All right. But my setup was price breaking above a daily order block. So I am going to overlay a daily order block on top of this 15-minute chart. So let me turn those on. So this is the daily right here. I colored them pink. Just like the 4-hour chart. It's the same order block. I am looking for longs above the order block on a 4-hour time frame. So I'm bringing this down to a 15-minute. Okay? It broke out of the daily one time, the second time. How do I get in? What is your strategy? What is your setup? If I'm looking for longs, how do I get in? Well, there's several ways you can get in. You can use your own strategy, go down to a 15-minute signals and overlay strategy and wait for a bullish signal. You can use your market structure strategy, change of character.
Strategy.
Yeah, strategy. Break a support, whatever the strategy you use, you go bullish, you go long, right? For me, I use higher highs, lower lows, and every other combination in between. I like showing the fractals, the pivots, the swing points. Let's turn those on. In price action concepts, we have that feature, okay? They're in the style tab. I'll turn all those on for you. Okay. I actually gave a little heads up on a possible setup. That chart, let's reset that chart. That kind of messed up. But in the VIP room, I posted this before it came true, right? Let me change this back to the daily. There we go. Let me turn on the fractals. And I'll show you how I would have gotten in. Okay, here we go. High, low printed. Lower, low printed. Now, whether it's high, low, or low, low, it is insignificant. I just want a fractal print to the upside. I want a fractal print and change of direction because I already picked my direction. I want a bullish direction. So I'm using these pivots as a direction. I am not using it as a traditional sense, as a structural trend direction. I just want a pivot direction, right? When this printed, we were over here, right? Price was above the daily order block. How much was this move? The move is right there. I'm not saying you're going to get the entire move. Let's just say we got half a move, right? Is that not good enough for a day's work, right? Same thing over here. This was even a beautiful one. All right. Let's just say you got them, you set a limit order right there at the break. There's the entire move. But let's just be realistic. Let's go right in the middle, right? Not too shabby. So that is the concept of my 4-hour order block. Okay. Let's move over to the ES and why I stayed away from it. Okay. The rule of thumb for me is I want to trade when the price breaks out of an order block or rejects from an order block. Market open today. Where was price? Right here. These were the 3 bars. It was nowhere close to any order block. The play has already ended. The play was here, the play was here, and the play was here. Today, there is no play, so I'm sitting on my hands, right? And that is the reason why it's kind of slow and chopping around a little bit, okay? So that's my reason. There are a lot of members that took awesome trades on the ES, but for me, I stayed away and I kind of looked at gold, okay? But let me switch over to signals and overlays for tips and tricks. This one's a good one. This one's a beauty, okay? Let's clean up the chart a little bit. Let's enlarge this, hide the matrix a little bit. Let me hide the premium discount zones. I want to demonstrate something for you, okay? And let's talk about Neocloud. My friend Neocloud, right? From a few years ago when I first joined Lux, it's always been the Neocloud, okay? Let's talk about stair steps. It's a term that, you know, I labeled it because I don't know what else to call it, you know? We are talking about the Neo lead and the lag. The lead and the lag are just the outer edge of the extremities, okay? So for less confusion, I'm just going to call it stair stepping, okay? Let me disable the watermark so it's nice and clear, okay? Here's the Neocloud. When it's blue, of course, we're in a bullish trend, okay? As you can see, stair step. See how it steps up, steps up, steps up, steps up, right? This is your easy way to learn market structure movements. If you're new to the business, I'm gonna look straight into the eye, camera. If you're new to the business, I understand that SMC, ICT, market structure, or whatever guru, you know, label they put their name on it. I know it's a little bit confusing because we were all brought up and grown and taught to look at colors and pretty moving averages lines. All right, you can still use that same concept with Neo lag and Neo lead. It's an easier way to read market structure by looking at the stair steps, right? When it's stair stepping up, right? This plots in real time. It confirms on candle close. Whenever you have steps going up, the market structure is going up. It's bullish. When you have the Neo flatlined a little bit, okay? It means we have a pause in action. There is no market structure change to the downside yet. On this example, we have flatline here, right? Even though price pulled back, we don't have a structural change to the downside, okay? Now it starts, look how price comes right back up and it's stair stepping in the original direction. We're back on the train for another bull move, okay? Now, how do you trade this? You can trade this blindly, Neocloud, right? Neocloud. Let me enter just a Neocloud. I'm going to do this real quick for you. This is 4 hour, right? You can go back 1, 2 years, 3 years. It does not matter. I showed this on a couple live streams. Scroll back and implement some smart trade management. It could be a trailing stop. Enter on the Neocloud flip blindly. Just do it blindly. This is just an exercise. And just visually backtest month after month, year after year. I'm not going to go through all the symbols. I've already done this exercise a couple times ago. It's no secret. You could do it on your own, right? Use a smart trade management style, okay? But this is not the tips and tricks. This was an old one, okay? How can what if I don't want to swing trade? I want to trade something inside here, which most of us kind of do. We want to day trade, right? Get our money, shut it down, and go about our day. How about this? Why don't we combine price, action, concepts, market structure? Okay, this one's a good one. Listen up. Listen up, boys and girls. Here we go. This one's a good one. All right. Okay. Let me turn this bar so it's nice and clear. I could squish it up a little bit. Okay. How do I enter? This is going to be really simple and stupid right here. We are in a uptrend. Neocloud's green. Okay. How about we fade? How about we fade the bearish market structure? And how about we target a continuation market structure to the upside? Let me repeat. Neocloud is bullish. Why don't we enter on a bearish market structure, right? And then your take profits could be your next bullish market structure change to the upside. We're tagging the price when it hits the Neocloud in hopes for a continuation to the upside. Change of character bearish, enter. First take profit, change of character bullish, I'm out. Rinse and repeat, change of character. This bar, look at this, this bar closes. This bar closes to confirm this change of character. I'm entering right here, right? Target, right there, right? This is the bar that confirmed. Break of structure to the upside, continuation of the Neocloud. Rinse and repeat. You are buying at the discount price levels during a bull run. Think about it. We are buying at cheaper prices in hopes for prices to continue to the upside. Here's the candle that confirmed a bearish structure change. I'm entering right here. Where's our take profit? Here's a bullish change of character. This candle confirms it. I'm exiting there. Right? This is just a concept. This is not a complete strategy, but you can use this and massage this to your own style. Okay? It's kind of neat. What do you think, Jacob? Good stuff? All right. The euro. Same thing as the euro. Let's turn on market structure. Turn off premium discounts, make the chart cleaner for everyone out there. Turn on all the internals. Okay. Wait for it to load. I am looking for bullish market structure in a downtrend of Neocloud for my entry. I am looking to enter at premium prices during a bearish trend. Let me clean up the watermark there. Enlarge this chart. Let's take a look at these examples. We'll delete that. Excuse me, and we'll start all over. There we go.
Had my mic muted. Didn't even realize.
Oh, I was asking you a question, and
I literally
like,
said,
okay,
I literally said, I did reply, but I was saying the Neo definitely was looking at that last time, man.
I mean,
it's a great little feature.
I mean, look at this. In a bearish trend, I am
Easy.
looking for premium prices
Right.
to enter. So on this template, I have a bearish Neocloud. I'm adding internal market structure. I want to enter on a bullish market structure change in hopes for a continuation of the bearish move. I am selling at premium prices. Here are my premium prices that I'm selling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's got to end somewhere, right?
Nat gas breaking down and crude oil bouncing here.
This is the trade that I have. I'm not going to delete that. I got to keep that up. But yeah, I could delete that. I could redraw that. What the hell, right? It's only drawings, right?
Yeah. What do you do?
But I want to tell you one thing here. But how do I know? Take a look at this one. Loser, loser, right? You're going to have losers. We have to learn how to take your losses, right? But how can we avoid this? Maybe, maybe not. You know, it all depends on your strategy. Look at the stair steps. Okay. Let me clear this out so we can concentrate. Look at this stair step. It's flat. This is the first time it's stair stepping to the upside. This could be the point where you're going to say, I'm out. You took a huge swing trade, right? I'm out. Now we wait for a continuation to the downside. After I exit here, where do I enter short? Not yet. Right now it's flatline. It's telling you market structure has not confirmed for a continuation to the downside yet. Maybe after this candle closes. Don't forget, this is a 4-hour chart. Maybe this candle or the next one, maybe within the next 8 hours, we're going to have a stair step down. If I have a Neocloud lead stair stepping down, I am going to bring this down to a 15-minute time frame, and I'm going to find myself a bearish Neocloud to jump on the train. Okay? Simple tips and tricks. Any questions before Jacob shows his chart with his tip?
Yeah. My tip.
What do you got?
I mean, I was looking at the Neocloud as well as you were talking, and it actually is.
I mean, what do you think? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
With the buying, buying and selling,
giving you a generalized direction. I mean, it's helping you follow what's happening, right? I want to turn off. Hold on, I got this. I gotta find that. There we go. Turn that off so we don't have it up. There we go. So crude oil actually is forming a Neocloud break and bounce type situation. I was gonna see. Let me turn off.
Flip it back to your chart.
I'm going to. Yeah. I'm just sorry. I'm making sure the chart's set up. So, it's something that you can utilize to kind of help you out. So in this current situation, it's actually looking pretty solid for a potential setup. And so crude for now, for a long, and we talked about that reject we had. The only thing I don't like is that we did make this retracement through this low, right? We broke down, had that lower move to the downside. I wanted to see that, that breakout of the value area on the other indicator. I'm going to take off the signals for now. And let me turn on the confirmation gradient. I do like the gradient in some situations. You can see based on the gradient that is it a strong candle or a weak candle. Because look here, like if it's grayish green, it's not that strong of a green candle. But if you saw, what's really cool about this setup is that we extended on the oscillator on the downside. Let me get rid of that. And then we now have a possible turning point that did try to form there on this 15-minute chart. But also, even on top of that, we have the Neocloud bouncing. It stayed positive through this whole run, right? And then it broke back over, and now it's bouncing off of it again. So right now, a lot of this is leaning towards a little bit of a bullish run, which would be really cool to see as we're still on stream here. But I don't like how weak this is acting. We have 6 minutes left on the 15-minute chart. So if we get a nice push here on the 5-minute here shortly, we might get a nice setup. The other thing was I wanted to look at too was the current situation on gold. I do like the potential short opportunity on gold, like for a lower time frame move here, because we did get the turning point after a very aggressive bullish move, right? Look how aggressive this was, came in and out of the threshold, broke threshold here, finally has this turning point. So in the current situation, I like it short after rejecting this 4-hour order block, like this reject, 4-hour order block reject. So this to the downside to reset. If we were to talk about, the fib retracement here, we broke that 6.8, got up to Mickey's high 70% level for that reject. But if this Neocloud breaks, it might run. So we'll see if that happens. It's flipped back and forth twice now. Still showing a bullish Neocloud as well. But again, this swing down here that we bounce off of, these 1 hour and 15-minute order blocks there is quite intriguing to go try and retest. So let's see here if on gold, this is gold futures, it should be very similar. Let's see. Gold futures at 1962. So if we look up like actual gold pair, it's at 1949. But notice the price action is roughly the same. So it's actually quite interesting to see where the order block differences are as well here. So if we look at, this pair on Owanda, we see that there isn't a 4-hour order block that it rejected. And if it did, it might have just gotten broken or just disappeared. But if we look at it on here, we can see based on the price difference. And I kind of want to see what that 4-hour order block is pulling from here. I'm going to take off. That was the 4-hour one there. There you go. So here's your 4-hour order block. It rejected there and there on the this other, just the actual futures. But let's look at it on like the pair and see here. So notice the pair broke out, right? It broke that order block. So it's actually interesting seeing it reject after it did break out. It's probably because the volume difference. There's a huge volume difference between gold futures and these spot pairs. So that could make a lot of sense to why it could have broken there and not the other. But if you compare them, you could have an insight to, okay, this thing might not be treating this level as could be trading this level as reject. So you would get honestly a better entry on the gold pair there. So it's quite interesting to see the differences there. But look at the 3 levels of divergence here that's happening on this oscillator. So we could have maxed out this run for now. We'll see if it wants to pull back entirely. But in the time being, I like crude oil a lot for a potential breakout. This is the 4-hour where we broke the bearish Neocloud, or we're showing support on this Neocloud. So if this breaks, that Neocloud is going to shift. So on the 15-minute, we could already have an indication that that's going to happen, right? Because we had this break already. The other thing I like, too, is that we took out this low, right? And then we recovered. And then the Neocloud stayed positive. So this is definitely looking good for a long, while gold is looking good for a continued short. But we'll see. You guys got any questions? Sorry, I haven't looked at the chat. We had King said, what do you do when the market is choppy and it flips blue to red over and over, Mickey? Well, that's a nice part about the Neocloud is it doesn't necessarily shift that much. It takes a lot for the Neocloud to change. As you can see, like in this situation, notice though, a good thing that like Mickey, I don't know if you went over it there for a second, but Notice the differences when there's a choppy market versus a trending market. See how it's slightly adjusting itself pretty aggressively versus it being just a box, like a straight box. When you see these straight boxes, you could say, hey, okay, this thing, the Neocloud, is not shifting, right? It's not moving in any direction. So you could consider that very choppy. It moved here, right? It moved here in a direction. But what happened when it came to retrace? It just stayed flat because there was a lot of buying pressure coming back into it. Same thing here. It moved here, came back, stayed flat. Here started creeping down. You got a little bit, of a reject there. But even when this made its leg down, so let's say here, this is a good example of if you're using the Neocloud. For one, this thing came down, never turned over, right? So there's really no reason to trade it short. But let's say you wanted to trade it short to get, say, you thought maybe you would get a nice leg down and the Neocloud would flip, right? Once you got this Neocloud reject, even though it's bullish, let's say you took a short here. It was treating a bullish Neocloud as bearish. Sometimes that can indicate that the trend could be switching because it did break through it. So let's say you wanted to get in early. Well, you could have entered here, right? You could have had your short position here, had your stop above, the recent swing high, and wherever if you wanted to ride the trend. Yeah. Well, if we come down here, watch what happens here in a second. This gets bought up and it stays flat, right? We wait again. Well, that would have stopped you out there. But again, it's about waiting to see if it starts following it. It didn't follow there. So even on this one, you could have taken, it off. Either way, this would have been a loser if you would have held it through, right? Because it kept going. But notice how it stays flat. If we go back to when it didn't stay flat, like back here, when it stayed bullish, notice how it's constantly adjusting itself. So once it got flat, it was already up here. So, you could treat this as a trailing stop as well. So when you had that initial breakout here, right, if you would have taken your entry, had stop below this lower Neocloud, had a target for a nice trend run, you start adjusting your stop loss to the Neocloud. So eventually, look at how much profit you could have been in if you adjust your stop right here, right? So even if, as you were following this trend, you adjusted your stop below as it was moving up slightly, you can move it up here, and you move it up there, you move it with it, move it with it, move it with it, here, boom. You would have had $1.50, 1.65% here on crude oil when it came down and broke below that to take your stop for profit. So it's a great way to utilize for a trailing stop, especially in a trending market. Now, that unfortunately got wicked out because crude can be very volatile sometimes. But when you hit big trends, you can hit a massive run using just the Neocloud. So it's can really help with holding those trades longer and give you a nice trailing stop. But here's the situation where you have to understand, when I was showing you earlier, if you're trying to short on a bullish Neocloud, well, you just have to really have your risk to be very short because it is possible you can call it early. But again, there I showed you where if I move my stop with the cloud, I would have been stopped pretty early on that trade. So that's why we're always wait until it tells you that this thing is ready to shift. But if it's not going anywhere, then just use that as an indication of, okay, hey, this thing, I need to get out before this thing switches again. So it can really help you identify whether you're chopping around or not. But man, let's go back to where we're at. We did get a turning point here. So this turning point with this bounce with the change of character after that liquidity sweep, you could consider this a potential entry point. We are a little late in the day, hour 48. But you're kind of waiting here probably for a stronger candle. But overall, not too bad of a bounce there on crude oil. Could be a nice little trade back up to, if we go back now, turn on these order blocks, that 1 hour order block we got sitting up there. So let's see here. By the end of close, does it rally through or not? Which is very possible because of what we're seeing. Let's see. Question: gradient colors don't show up for me if I have a PAC active. Am I doing something wrong? So I've seen that happen with people before. Like I think. Let me double check. I've seen that be a bug before. It sometimes, because Mickey, you've seen that too, haven't you? The color.
Yeah, let me interject. Okay, what we need to do is well, let me back up. When you have multiple indicators that have gradient and color algo, codes within them, there will be glitches and they will conflict at times. And it's the same with any other third-party indicators. It's just the way it is. To reset your chart back so that it functions properly, you need to create a new chart, add a default price action concepts to the chart, and then add signals and overlays. Okay? Now from this brand new chart, you can change your signals and overlays candle coloring. Once you save it as a template, and you're good to go. Do not touch price action concepts candle coloring. Once you touch it, the glitch will come back, and you have to create a brand new chart again. Okay, so that's an easy way to get around the coding conflict. Okay, yes. But also, when you showed your crude oil chart on your 15-minute with Neocloud, can you bring that up a little bit? I want to show you something.
Yeah, it's on here.
And leave the market structures on.
Yeah.
With your Neocloud. Okay. Okay. So this is on a 15-minute, and we know crude can be really whipsawing with high volatility.
Right.
Okay. But we'll just put that aside and remember what I mentioned about buying at discount zone levels and selling at premium levels. So on Jacob's chart right now, if we only adhere to that concept, according to this Neocloud, just forget about it being flatline or being choppy and it's just all, Minecraft box right now. Okay. So we are in an uptrend according to Neocloud, right? According to Neocloud,
yes,
it's a bullish Neocloud. So what I'm looking for is a bearish market structure. Once the bearish market structure confirms on that candle closing, I enter. My target is the next bullish market structure. Nice quick scalps, all right? So I see two right there. Right, you see that, Jacob?
The bearish change of character, and then the
the bearish structure change.
We have a bullish structure change,
and you enter. There's one, and there's one to the left.
Right here. Oh, yeah, it's be a little delayed for you, but the two bearish change of characters is what you're saying on the left side there.
Yeah, and both of them are nice scalps. Beautiful, right?
So you're saying so go over that one more time.
Go over to the first one on your left.
Yes. I'm gonna make these labels bigger. 1 second.
Yeah.
All right.
That one right there.
Yes.
That one. Right there.
Yep.
So the general concept is, in this example, we have a bullish Neocloud. Forget about the stair steps and all that. Okay. Let's just make it simple. A bullish Neocloud. I am looking for a bearish market structure because I want to buy at discount prices.
Right.
So this is a contrarian move.
Right.
I am waiting for a bearish market structure to confirm, and I am going to enter a buy order real quick.
Okay. So
and
you're
then my
longing,
target.
You're longing right here.
Yes, I am longing the bearish structures because the Neocloud is telling me go up, go long.
Right.
That is a basic concept. We can massage it and optimize it to, for our personal strategy, but it's a nice strategy to use on a 4-hour time. That is a core strategy I could use year after year.
Sure.
Year after year, my account at the end of the year in December is going to be positive. I I can't say guarantee, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be positive.
Oh yeah. Love to hear it.
And look where your exit point is.
Sorry, let me go back.
The next bullish market structure confirmation candle.
So how would you position your stop loss in this case?
For me, I don't use a calculated stop loss. For me, if I enter on an indicator trigger, I am going to exit on an indicator trigger.
Okay.
Because I am basing my strategy on a high winning percentage.
So what you would do is if you got a bearish break of structure now to the downside, you would exit and use that as a stop loss.
That could be one way. Another way is candle coloring.
Right.
And another way is adding trend catcher. Okay.
Yeah.
For me, I want to use an indicator.
Right.
To tell me it's going to flip the other way.
Let's look at confirmation simple here. Oh man, barely a little red there. I wonder. Let me see. What am I on though?
Why don't you turn it autopilot long term and let's see what we get? What if these bars are green?
You're right.
Wouldn't that give you,
they could autopilot long term.
Wouldn't this give you confidence in taking along?
This is not even on. This is just default. Let's try midterm. I mean, see if it. There you go. Never got a bearish candle. It stayed purple. So even just on midterm, it stayed purple. Right?
What
so
about
like
long term? Put long term.
We could do long term. I bet you it's solid green. You're probably right. It's 15-minute. Oh, long term's bearish. So that's interesting, actually.
So there's so many ways you can exit.
It's just because of this massive chop. Because of the chop. Let's go back to midterm then, because like we're talking scalps here, so there's no reason to have the long term.
Yeah.
Let's go to midterm. I mean, even short term is probably going to hit you with that pretty quick. But in this case, like you said, if we go back and retest this, our long position here, we would have had, a nice 40 cent move, 40 ticks. For those of you that know, one tick on these is $10 per lot. So it's been a nice $400 trade. So, but we had a risk of $330. So seeing that there, I mean, that's pretty solid. You probably would have gotten a change down here to been about a 1-to-1 risk to reward in that case. But like you were saying, let's look again here on this end. Boom, right here. It had the same situation. You got a bullish Neocloud. You would have longed on that change of character that occurred right here. You would have gotten out on this massive move, $830 trade. You were risking $560 for one mini. So that was pretty big too. There was no adaptive change there either. If you would have said, on your structure change because it was already bearish candles. So like that there would have been a big move here. But if we were just talking. Like, let's see here. I mean, look at this end of day. Imagine you took a short here right before the opening. You just got out immediately. That was massive for a short. You're saying the same situation, right? You get this bullish change of character inside of a bearish Neocloud. You take a short once that closed. I mean, and let's say you swung it. You would have opened up at a massive profit. The $1,200 on one mini there.
And don't forget, this is crude oil. What if you used it on a more trending pair, right? A more smoother pair.
What do you think? Give me one. What you got?
Any of the Forex pairs. I mean, UJ, EU. I mean, you can even trade the dollar. Trade the dollar. We have a lot of members that actually trade the Dixie. That's
pretty awesome, actually. Man, sorry, I'm just looking back over at ES here, and we have a heck of a low break again. Let me see here.
Since you have ES with the Neocloud, put it to a 4-hour. Let's see what the Neocloud shows on a 4-hour.
Bullish 4-hour. And electronic trading hours as well. So we got all of the data.
Now scan back, and you can squish the chart a little bit.
Yeah, so that shift there had a few longing opportunities off of the change there. Nice little change for the 4 hour. But yeah, man, when you're trending, insane. Let's say like nice like, so here's a good indication of why, the candle coloring can really help with the Neo. Is like, you can see here it gapped up, even though it broke down, it wasn't bearish, right? Gapped up, traded off. Finally, we get some bearish candles into that Neocloud. It has an aggressive break here, and then we get a big sell-off, which is pretty nice. And if you would have trailed that stop behind it, you wouldn't have gotten triggered until, let's see, that Friday. So like, even a short on this long, if you would have taken it after it closed out, if you're on a very strong break of structure, had your stop, you trail it with the Neo. You just hold this until it breaks that Neocloud again on the upside. You would have had a 100-point move on ES. Insane. But yeah, I mean, it comes down to how you would want to do it, because obviously what you do is, once it breaks down, you trail that stop along the Neocloud there. Or, I mean, what'd you say? You said you like the trend catcher too, or whatever.
Yeah,
else.
trend catcher's always nice. Yeah.
So yeah, it really comes down to, the features you want to use.
You just gotta pick your style.
Yep.
And go for it.
I wonder. Let's see here. Oops. Let's see So here's an interesting setup that I like. Yeah, that one's kind of rough. I would have waited for a retrace. I'm gonna take off these other order blocks. Let's see. There you go. So let me take the Neocloud off too. You guys do that like my change of character after BOS. It definitely works very well in these higher time frames. So in this situation, that money flow very strong, right? I like to see turning points that happen in the positive of the direction I want to go. So in this case, notice we had bullish money flow that was coming off, right? So when I see that BOS into change of character, I then am trying to identify my entry. I like to take entries on turning points, right? So here's your turning point that occurred in the positive side, because I want to take a trade on that turning point when I'm getting a lower high like this. For a short, it's on the positive. For a long, it'd be on the negative side for the oscillator. Sorry, not negative, but above or below the 50 level. You probably could change that to positive and negative. Short side turning point here after BOS change of character. But right here on this guy, you could take this is for, a longer trade. Not necessarily, it's not an intraday type setup. But here's a 4 hour. I'd set my, stop for now above that last swing high. In that case would be, up here. And then I would target, probably the lows first. So the low would be right here. Next step would be, if we did have our order blocks on for the 15-minute, which we do. Why isn't that popping up on the... Oh, we're on the 4 hour. I'm sorry. But they should... Okay, they're down there. Sorry, let me pull up the 4 hour order blocks. So two things I'm going to target is, one, I'm going to have my first initial TP at this next order block on the 4 hour. But also, though, I'm going to wait until this extends. So we have, another 2 legs probably. Maybe the next one, if it's aggressive, to take our profit on. But that's the type of situation where I'm saying you take the BOS to change a character, you short, swing high, stop. Now I can adjust my stop to somewhere like up here against the most recent swing high. and I'm kind of just rolling off of no risk at this point. This so far for this initial setup would have been 46 points, which is pretty good for obviously a swing trade. But notice here, turning point occurred on the oscillator here. If you don't like the money flow and it's in your way, it's kind of like making you second guess, you can turn it off, which sometimes it can, it can affect what you're looking at. So in this case, here you go. We're just using the hyper trend. Our entry point would have been this turning point above the 50. If this is the case, I would probably set a horizontal line at the 50 here. Make it really thin, and then make sure it is at the 50 level. So you go coordinates, go to 50 here, and then what you can do is you can lock it so then you can't move it, right? So we come out of this, and our trade so far is very nice. Let's see, another situation in which we could have done this, and let me get rid of the lower thing as well. So BOS, right, into bullish change of character. And we never had a turning point after that occurred on the below the 50. We had one back here, but that was in the middle of another change of character. So because I was already in a change of character, I don't really like that for a long setup. And you can see why. It's already heading back lower. So if we go back, in the past, where we got another BOS and a change of character. Here you go again. Change of character after a BOS. What happened? It can't retrace, but look, got another change of character. Don't like it. No trade. BOS, change of character here. Right? Retraced. Change of character. No reason to trade it. BOS, change of character on this guy. Comes back up. Look. Boom. Entry here. Because what happened? Look, no other change of character occur on the upside. We have the turning point in the positive or above the 50. I set my stop loss above that swing high. I target this low or the extended, right? Extended, it was right here, it looks like. So similar candle, same candle. So target the swing low. Obviously, this had a mega down run, but there was that setup I was looking for. Let's see if we can find a long side one. Here you go. BOS into change of character. Sadly, that happened when it was already extended because we didn't really get a retracement back below. So this here happened too long. Notice we really want that turning point to occur shortly after that original change of character. So because this took all the way to here, there's no reason to take the trade. Let's see here. Nope. Had the turning point occurred, and then we had that change of character there. So let's see. We had another. Lots of chachas, lots of back and forth. So this is definitely a longer term setup here on a lot of these. So it's nothing that I would full on consider if you are a day trader. Now let's go to like a 15-minute chart and see. You have a 15 BOS. There you go. Another 15 BOS. So let's see here. Man, this thing is just now it's retesting lows. Wow, what a move. Look at this here today. You had a, this was from the overnight session as well, change of character, still a BOS into this change of character. You had a turning point right here, right above, right above this little guy. See it? Boom. This, you could take it a trade here, right? This was 5:30 this morning, but we're just talking about normal setups. So 13-point stop. And then, like I said, I like to target extended. So extended occurred shortly after, which was around 7-point trade. Nothing too crazy on that one because it's a lower time frame now that it's the scalping moves are going to be a little crazy. So, there's multiple ways to go about taking these trades. And yeah, just identifying, you know, if it makes sense, right? So you want to make sure that everything is making sense and everything is lining up in your favor for a trade like this. Let's do like a, I don't know, let's go to a 5 minute look. We had any setups? Change character, change character, change character. So many. Yeah, this was that early morning again. You wait on that retrace. And let's see, this here would have been your short entry, but then it extended up. Your stop would have been above that swing high. It almost would have stopped you out, but it would have hit. BOS, change of character. You wait for that dip. This is way late. This is 2,300 hours. That's, yeah, a little much. That's why I like the intraday is always nice to have that. But yeah, that's just another, you know, simple idea that we like to go over. Like when we're here, it's like waiting for that structure shift. Let's see. Gold is coming back down. So this is something that I wanted to look at as well. Remember what we said about the gold? Was it the 15 minute? We really, really liked gold 15 minute for a retracement here. And so here you go. BOS, right? Change of character, right? Comes back up. Turning point. Order block reject. Look at it starting to come back down. So this is why you have multiple time frames, right? So already this thing is coming back down. So let's see if it continues to play out. We have a little treat for you. So we have about 40 minutes, right? So honestly, Benjamin, you do get 30 days risk free. Let's do a quick little going over of how you can sign up for the indicators we're using. Obviously, we don't want to just bombard you with it. But again, go to the website, luxalgo.com. Click that 30 days risk free. You get 30 days money back guarantee when you sign up. Also, if you want to understand these features, right, more and more, you can go to the guide section. Now, this is very much free for you guys to check out. Hit the resources tab, hit guides. It's going to pull up this page. And then you can go over each feature in every single indicator, how most common questions. If you do have any specific questions, it's probably been asked before. So you can go in there and then just look at the answering inside the what's it called here? The documentation. As well as down here, there is a link to the Discord. You can't see it, but bottom left of this page, link to the Discord. Me and Mickey, I'm starting to be in there a lot more now. Mickey's been in there forever. He's the man of the Discord. But we hang out in there, answer questions that you might have. All these links should be in the description of this video or live stream as well. Have a lot of good times in that Discord. We're trading together these futures every single day. There's people trading Forex, stocks, whatever you name it. We're in there. And yeah, come and hang out with us, guys. We really enjoy having a good time in there every single day charting. But let's go back and see kind of how gold's doing at this very moment. But definitely bearish at the moment. See if that reject ends up playing out in this current situation. The pound versus the dollar there. What do you
Oh, I got that chart up.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was looking at your chart there. What I mean, we might as well go till close. We got 48 minutes left, so might as well see how these markets close off.
I mean, I could show my play on my plays on the gold pound, if you want.
Yeah, I mean, what? Yeah, here you got it, man. Take us through it.
All right. British pound, US dollar. We have a 4-hour chart with 4-hour order blocks in gray tones and daily order blocks like the pink and green. Okay, I colored. Okay, so what is my rule? My rule is, let's take the latest price action. My rule is I want to see rejection away from an order block. Okay. We have 3 opportunities. Wow, we have actually one forming right now as we speak, okay? I am looking for long plays. Okay. Mickey, why are you looking for long plays when it's shorting, when it's being bearish? Yeah, I will go for the bearish move too once it breaks out of this order block. This is where I am looking for shorts. Okay? But for now, right, the trade that's going to happen first, if it forms, is the long play, because price is above the 4-hour order block. So I want to see this. See? Rejection to the upside. It happened 1, 2, and it may happen for the 3rd time as we speak. Okay? So in this area, I want to go down to a 15-minute time frame. Okay? On the 15-minute time frame, here's my 15-minute. Okay. I want to see bullish structure changes to the upside off of a 4-hour order block. This green order block is a 4-hour order block. It's the same one that I showed you in the other template, in the higher time frame bias template. And this is a 15-minute time frame. Okay. I mentioned there were 2 moves, and there's one pending as we speak. Let's go over the first 2 moves first to the upside. All right, move number 1, right here. Okay. Somewhere in here. Actually, it is somewhere there, to be honest with you. I am looking for long entries. Does not matter what kind of template you have, or strategy, or concept. The important part for me is I have a direction I'm looking for. And I'm going to use any tool set to help me enter in that direction. All right? So this is move number 1. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Right? Let's go for number 2. Where was the second one that touched it? Right there. I got a second chicken dinner. All right. Now let's go for the current price action pending, where I mentioned that I am on high alert. Right? I want to see. You're seeing it right in front of your eyes right now. Once price touches an order block, I am looking for long moves. Let's go down to a 15-minute. Here we go. It is happening as we speak right now. How many times can I enter? Based on, let's just say we want to use pivot fractals, lower lows. 1 time, 2 times. I'm safe. Whether I win or lose, that's not what's important. The important part is being on the right side of the trade. If we're early, we could break out. We could, stop out at break even or small loss. But eventually, if you keep on taking those trades, we're going to hit the big one. Right? This is the big one. Here's another one about the form right in front of our eyes. Right? What you could do is set a limit buy order on this order block threshold. Right? How many winners do we have? We are on the right side of the day. So that is the purpose of my 4-hour order block, is being on the right side of the trade. And then on a lower time frame, I don't care what you use, that is the direction you're going to scalp. Okay, it works for me, and hopefully it works for others. And you can use this concept and, I don't know, implement it on your strategy, right? And make it better. I'm not saying mine is the best. It's far from the best, right? I want someone to make it better.
Yeah.
Right? I want someone to make this better. You know, I'm just tunnel vision, right? I have not complete this. There's so many steps, A to Z. I've only completed A to M. Someone needs to continue from M to Z. Complete the strategy for me. You know, this is what it's all about, right,
Help
Jacob? In
me,
this room.
please. Yeah.
I know, all right?
Right. I
All
actually
right, what do we got?
Let me see here. Well, I just installed this thing. Image edge. Wait, hold on. I want to see something here.
You got something cooking, don't you?
This isn't anything too fun. That's like trading wise. It's about. I need to figure out how to install this software to control my camera. I do want to go over something that I thought was kind of cool with the Neocloud that I was playing around with last night. That we could go over a bit. We flip it. All right. So, man, this is pretty interesting, to be honest. I'm really curious how often it works. And we will totally go. Let's just go back in time and look at this too during market open. So first off, today we've had several profitable trades on the ES using the Neocloud, right? So I'm a little crazy in that I like to come up with crazy concepts on, trading strategies. Don't ask me why. I just do. First off, there's something about, when you hear people, let's say you wanted to create an algorithm that trades for you, right? In certain parts of the year, the ES is going to have candles that are the length of, 6 points. And sometimes it's going to have candles in the length of like 2 points, right? They're very small or big candles. So, if you wanted to create an algorithm that trades off of a certain amount of, risk to reward, you either have to have it go ahead and calculate the percentage in which it should risk that trade on the current entry. Or what I think of when I'm just using, my brain is I measure how big is that first candle open, right? And then I'll adjust my, whatever accordingly. So this is the 3 minute. I did like this on the 3 minute chart. This is what I do when I'm trying to come up with new strategies, because that's one of the things I really love doing. So on the 3 minute here, I start off knowing my risk to reward for the day. I'm going to measure that first 3 minute candle. It's a 5 point candle, right? So I first know that, okay, 5 points today could be significant. Sometimes you might get a opening candle that's like 10, 12 points. So then I'll know my risk is a little heavier. 5 point candle, let's just say we do a, 5 point, you could do a 10 point trade. If you want to do 2 to 1. I like to do 1 to 1. In this case, sometimes I will even do 0.5 to 1, because sometimes you can go for a lot more winners so long as your losers are small. So in this case, let's say we do 2.5 points and risk 5 points on a trade. So this is the strategy which I like, which is kind of interesting, to be honest. And it's going with the Neocloud and watching if price breaks above the Neo and then breaks back below it on either side. So we were bearish out of the gate this morning, right? 9:30, bearish Neocloud. We have extended trading hours because we want to make sure we see all the data. So I'm going to go back in replay mode. Remember, the idea here is we're going to go a 0.5. Let's see how I did today. If it fails, it fails. I don't know. I haven't back tested this on today's price action. I've done this on others. So today could be a red day. We don't know until we watch it right here. So here we go. Starting off, we know that the first candle was 5 points, right? So the strategy entails we want a candle to close outside the Neocloud when it's red on the upside first, okay? So let's see here. There you go. Boom. First close here. Now, for a trade entry, I want to see a candle close now below the downside of the Neocloud. Then we enter short. Okay, so that's indicating that this trend's not ready to break yet, right? Okay, so here you go. It closed below that Neocloud. So now this is where I would take an entry short. Okay, now what I say, it was a 5 point stop loss and it's a 2.5 point take profit. Yeah, that's pretty crazy, right? It's the opposite of a 2-to-1. It's a 0.5. But again, these are scalps. This is a 3-minute chart. So let's see if this first one failed or won. Boom. First one wins. We're up 2.5 points for the day. Now, if you're trading one lot, what we got? 2.5 points is, let's see. Is $125. Okay. So we're up $125 for the day on one mini, right? Let's see our next setup. We got a break over, right? And then we will need to see it break back down, indicating that the trend is changing, right? It's like there you go, fake out, right? We can have a fake out setup. So we're waiting for this to break over. Hasn't broken over yet. Boom, closes over. Now, again, we don't take an entry until we get a candle that closes back under the Neocloud. Still not entering. And boom, entry. All right, short. We go for a 5 stop, like we said. We go for a 2.5 take profit. We're doing these little baby scalps. Boom, hit. Now we're up. What? 250 now. Up $250 on the day. You could call it a day. 2 winners. Why not? Let's see if this hits again. Where we closed out outside of it there. Had to close out. Let's see if we close back in on the downside. Boom, close back on the downside again. I'm not a huge fan of this candle, but you know what? For back testing purposes, we're just going to do it, right? 5 stop. Man, that stop seems so short. What crazy candles today. 2.5 points, retest that low. Let's see if we get it. So remember, we're up 250 already. Boom. Let's go. Now, we are up 375. Let's see if we can do a 500. That'd be cool. A little $500 day. So now we know if we get a loser, we're still positive on the day, right? So we've hit 3, which is good. All right. Let's see if we exit back on the other side. We have a candle close on the end. Well, that's it for the day. We're up 375 on the day just with that small strategy. So, there's fun things like that you can mess around with and find strategies. So that's a little scalping strategy. Now, if we would have done 5 points on these breakdowns, let's see, like here, we've done 5 to 5 because we measured the first candle, right? 5 to 5 here, that would have hit. Boom, 5 to 5, we'd be up 5 points. You could have literally called it a day there. It'd been up 250 out of the gate. Let's, if you want to hit 2, we'd see if it hits here. We get it? Yes, sir, we did. Got another 5 there. So you would be up $500 for that day. Do we get it again here? Absolutely, we did. You would be up $750 today trading one lot if you did a 1-to-1 just by measuring the opening candle. Now, why don't we go back to yesterday and see if that failed? I don't really remember if I fully did this yesterday or not. And we could talk about, there might not have been even a trade yesterday. I don't think there was. So that can be a good sign. That can be a good sign of, sometimes if you have days that have no trades, it can be a good sign. But what kind of stinks, though, is look at this massive move that you could have missed. And that can come from, there's other ways you can go about it. It doesn't look like this day would have had a trade. Remember, we wanted to close under and then back over. Yeah, this one closed up, didn't come back down. Went inside, didn't come back down. This one broke out. Look at that breakdown. Then it continued, though. That's pretty cool. Let's go to the day before. A lot of fun things you can do with just testing, going back and playing around, right? What's more fun, though, is to, let's see, 9:30 here. Let's just measure this candle. It looks like we might have had one late in the day, right? So let's measure that opening candle. Where my 9:30 candle at? Boom. So our risk for the day, look, 6.5 points. Now, in my opinion, I like to average down, so we'd say 6 points. So we do 3 and 6 or 6 and 6. But again, look, closed outside of it, right? Closed outside of it here, boom. Here you go. This is when you want that 3 point instead of the 6 point. But let's say you took a long off here. 6 point didn't hit. Oh, give me that 6. 6 point didn't hit. So you would have lost 6 points that day. But if we go to the 3, easy scalps. 3 point winner, chicken dinner. Potentially, you're literally just looking for that next candle move. Like you're just trying to predict the next candle move. And you can be profitable. So again here, this broke down super bearish. This is where I would say don't try this. Look at that little guy. There's like a tiny little Neocloud. That's not really reasoning behind doing that because the trend there, because of the volatility, just got obliterated. So not really anything to trade. That would have had one little 3-point guy. But again, positive. We're positive. All right, let's go back. Another day. See what we got. This month, from what I looked at, looked like it did pretty well. Now again, you might be thinking, oh, this guy figured it out. Well, no, I didn't, because there's probably gonna be a loser. There's definitely always losers. Trust me, I've done enough back tests to know that there's.
You found the grail right here.
The money, the holy grail we've been waiting for. Okay, here you go. Neocloud. Let's see. Measure that high and low. 750. Nice. What that could entail is we might have a real good day. So 7 points, 3.5 point if you did the half, which I like doing halves because I'm weird, but that's just how I like to do it. Because I'm like, if we're scalping, we're looking for real small moves. So here you go. I think we had one opportunity and it was up here. Yep. And this would have hit 7. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Nothing on the upside at open. Came back down. 11 o'clock. Come back up. Boom. Break it. And we broke back down. So the cool thing about this type of strategy, right, is essentially you are saying, hey, here's a breakout, right, of the trend, but then nope, here's the fake out. Usually after a trend break fake out, right, or a breakout that was a fake out, I don't even know how to say it. What would you say? It would be a fake out break. Fake out is just the word to say. Usually after a fake out, you might, when you continue that trend to the downside, it might be aggressive, right? So here you go. You had your short here. We said a 7-point stop, and then you go 3.5 point take profit. And you would have had it. Now, obviously, you could, if you had big kahunas, you could go for the 7-point trade. But that depends how impatient you are. I'm extremely impatient, so I'm going to take my 3.5 points. Anyway, and then here we go. This is where it can get kind of weird. So I've seen this when it can be choppy, but we might as well test it and see what we get. Breaks out to the upside, get your breakdown here, right? So we're up 3.5 points for the day. And let's see if this stops us for 7, and it would have. So there you go. When you get that chop, more than likely will end up stopping you. Now, yeah, wouldn't have. Now, if you're like really ballsy and you want to take every single opportunity, breaks out again when you get stopped and then goes and tries it one more time. You could say, hey, I'm going to try this one more time. If it fails me, then I'll be done for the day. Let's see if it hits 3 points or 3.5. Oh, man. It hits 3.25. So there you go. That's like, you have to know when this is worth taking the trades. Now, it could be after a switch and then you go for it. But also, there, you're down now 14 points on this day. Wait, no. We had one winner, actually. So you would be down a little less than that. You'd be down 11.5. Here, though, same situation. Does 7 hit? It doesn't. You would have had, another extra trade. So you'd have been down one full stop loss for that day. So there you go. I mean, there's just fun ways to go about it. Then you could know, when is a good time to take these. Here's a good indication that it might not be a good time to take them too, is noticing if it's trending or if it's choppy, right? So obviously this ended up being flat when it retested and broke out of this. You could say, hey, I want a really aggressive breakout before I take an entry, which this original stop would have screwed you up. But it ended up being extremely flat. So it's like, what is it going to take? Like on this one, notice the price action was clean. Here, you had a lot of indecisiveness at this level, right? It already had its leg down. So maybe you don't take it, you only take the first or second low or high, like in a certain trend, or high or low in a certain trend. Because like today, let's see, at open here, You broke out. There's the first one you could have taken on an aggressive move. And then you could have taken one more. You could have had two because, you know, usually in a trend, like sometimes it maxes out at 3. So you could go all the way for 3. But in that last time there, it definitely would have struggled. Now, obviously, there's other ways to, you know, filter out the potentials. And one is, you know, trying it with an oscillator, like the oscillator matrix. Let's go back and see if that. So this is when you first hit that big error day, and we're just going over now, thinking about strategies, how to find your strategy. And so now we found a day that would have failed us, right? So we go in here, we think, okay, what could help us, right? What could help us in this strategy to filter out potential bad trades? So first off, let's just reset this. Let's reset the oscillator and see if the oscillator would have helped us in this situation. So first off, you know, when we went to take this would have been your entry on this candle, right? First off, I was already told that this is choppy. And because of this amount of turning points, that coiling, we knew it was choppy. Okay. Actually, look, so the turning point was here on this guy. That would have been our entry, right? We saw 4 turning points in this small time frame. So I could say, hey, I'm not taking that trade. Notice before on the oscillator. Notice that on this guy broke down. One little turning point. That's beautiful. Trend moves, right? This guy, do we have another one? I think we just had that one. So that one, trend moves, right? We just had the one for the day. So we guess what? We would have been positive. We would have won that day if we would have saw that. Look at all those turning points. Now let's go to today though, because what today had some pretty crazy chop, and like a little bit of chop early on. But look at this. This is beautiful. Look at these beautiful turning points. So these are things that are helping me decide whether this is a good opportunity. Here, could have taken it. Not a bunch of choppy little points there. This one here was at, let's see, right here. Boom. Only one turning point. It was in an extended area. Let's see this morning. This morning, we had, you know, several here. So I could have ignored that trade, right? Could have ignored that little trade there because we would have entered here and said, hey, okay, this could be chopping because it was chopping earlier. We don't enter here. We wait till the trend forms. So choppy, choppy, choppy. Up here, boom, perfect. No little dots sitting on that hyper trend. And then on this one as well, no little dots sitting on the hyper trend. So that's going to help us identify whether it's choppy or not. So with that in mind, let's continue back. We're doing our continuation on the back testing. Let me make sure we go to the time frame we were at. Yep, okay. So we go to the following day, right? Here we go. 9:30. Where you at? Where my opening candle at? Let me see you. Boom. 9:30. Holla at me. All right. Let's see here. Measure this candle off. Boom. We have a 6.75. I'm going to round up closer to 7. 7, 3.5 yet again. Right? First thing we need to see, right? We need to break out of it, close under it. We broke out of it, closed under it right here on this guy. Remember, we said 7-point stop and then 3.5-point take profit, and bada boom, bada bang, we had it. No crazy, you know, up and down turning points that would hit, right? Trend changes here. Look, do you see any candle closing underneath this? I don't, right? Look, we took a trade here. We hit profit here. Candle never closed up here, never closed up here. This candle closed down underneath, but guess what? We never had a candle close before that closed down there. I wouldn't take that as an entry. We're not doing back-to-back trades there. So here, look, breaks up. Does a candle ever close below that Neocloud? Doesn't. But now we get a trend change, right? What needs to happen? We need to break, right? We need to break this and then close back out. So on this right here, this candle, we look back on our oscillator, not a bunch of turning points. We know this is a trending kind of day. We would have been scared early on right? We would have been scared early on, but guess what? We have that 7-point stop loss, and we have that 3.5-point take profit. And now we're up 7 points for the day. So I'm thinking I'm probably done at that point. 7 points for the day. I might be done after 1, right? So we're up 350 on one contract or one lot. Up 350, right? Yeah, that's right. So 7 points for that day, up 350, right? We trade 2, we're up 650. So because these small scalps, sometimes trading 2 can be worth it. It just depends on what your risk is. So in this case, boom, this thing takes off like crazy, breaks that, never comes back down. Boom, 7 points on the day. We done skis on that one. Now let's go back to the next day. Now, again, you could do this. Something you could do pre-market as well. As you can see here, like this breaks over, comes here, sells off. I don't really know where you would take a full measurement on, what your take profit stop loss would be. You could just stick to 5 and 2.5. You could just measure an aggressive candle. Sometimes that's good. Just measure a high volume candle. Notice like, what is the max candle? This is 5.25, 5.5. Does this work scalping gold? Do you want to look at gold futures scam, or do you want to look at the gold pair? We can go look and see. We don't know. It could. I don't know. I haven't looked at it on gold. Let's go back though. Let's do one more day. See if we get anything good. Let's see. 9:30 here. Boom. 9:30 candle. Right here. Now this is a big boy. Let's see if we get any good. Is it a big boy though? 8. So we do 8 and 4. Right. So risk to reward 8 and 4. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, we can do that pair here in a sec. Okay. We come in, right? Break out here. This was on the opening candle. We break out, and then guess what? We just break down and it flips, right? So we're not doing any longs here. Short side breakout. Now we close down on this candle. Okay. Take our short off this candle. Now this would be a big sweat for sure. It's be a big sweat. 8 points. Boom. 4 point. Actually, maybe not. Not too long. It's 3-minute candle, so pretty quick. Boom. Had a winner. 4 points off down to here, right? You would have sweat about, 4 and 7.5 points on that. But that nice big long stop loss there is helping us get that little scalp in. We had one trade there. Do we have any more trades? No, never broke the top of that. Upside move, didn't. There you go. Green on the day. One and done. Why not? Let's go back. Let's just do another one just because we're just had the one for the day. Looks like this day didn't have any either. So far, we're pretty positive on this front, right? Just by looking at these. Now look, this one. Opening candle, 930s right here. Go real quick. And then we'll look at it on gold. I don't know if this would work on gold, but 930 right here. Boom. Boom. 5 points. 2.5 and 5 stop, right? So bullish Neocloud breaks up, breaks down. Do I take this trade? No. It's a bullish Neocloud. So I'm looking longs, right? Recovers, breaks out here. Holy Christmas, this thing just went nuts. So this is another thing where I'm like, man, we need to think of a way to just like ride this sucker. Because, if you would have entered here, have a stop at 450, like you probably would get one of these massive trades like once a week. It wouldn't happen every day. So like you would probably... Your down draw would probably like be decreasing for the week, and then you'd have this big spike, and then decrease for the week, and then big spike, because there are opportunities where this could happen to you like once a week, 45 points, just because of this Neocloud. Anyway, we said 2.5 points. This has been tiny little profit for the day, but again, it's still green. So that's just, a fun way to, look at the indicators and develop your own strategies. But overall, nice little trade that could have happened there for 2.5 points for a little baby profit. I don't think we would have had any more on that one. We would not have. Unless you took it pre-market here with this coming back out and then trading it up. But nice little move there. Let's take a look at gold now, like you said, with the same type of setup. This is the 3 minute. What do you think about that, Mickey? You like that with the Neocloud?
This is I like this. You are speaking my language. You know, tips and tricks.
I love it. All right. We currently almost have a trade set up in this. I mean, look at this. Same type of situation. We already had a big mover here. I don't like... Let me just get rid of the money flow. Sorry, one sec. There we go. So, okay. Actually, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't a lot of points here because it's consolidating. But here you go. Broke that low, right? Or, sorry. Nope. That would have been a trade. Because look, we were looking short. We need to break back down. So no trade on that one. My bad. Let's see. Here, 3 minute on this guy, never broke over. You wouldn't have taken a trade. Never broke back over till here, but then it flipped. Let's see. Anything today at all? I don't think so. You need to see if it, like, this is why it's like, if it's close, then honestly, just don't even think about it. Don't take it. Like, wait, get a nice break on either side. Today would have had no trades because this Neo is actually trading pretty close on gold. I think it's just because it had a big pump, probably. Let's go to Tuesday. Remember we said if it's like a straight line, don't worry about it, but we can still see how it does. 9:30. Oh, that was after anyway. So where's 9:30? Boom, 9:30. Let's measure our 9:30 candle. I need to stop clicking that. So I don't trade this much. So 0.13%. So we got 241 or 242. So we need 120, obviously. I'll just make it one. We'll make it even 240. So 240 would be our target. $2.40 would be the length of that candle. So we're going for $1.20 on gold here if it were to set up. In this case, out of open here, nothing. Broke down, nothing. Broke out. Here you go. Here's your trade. Broke out, broke down. This stop might be real tight. Let's see. So this is where, you know, you got to know what you're trading. So we said, okay, maybe not. I said 240 stop. 240 ticks was just close enough. Or just 240 on the dollar. And then $1.20. So that would have hit. Boom. $1.20. Honestly, you just look at the risk reward and you just set 50 cents there. Tesla for profit and bought another with profit. So free trade. Big brew with the free trade. Love to hear it.
Awesome.
Yes, awesome. So there you go. You had one trade yesterday in this type of situation. I don't think they broke out there. Okay, it did break down, but guess what? It was after hours, so you wouldn't trade that. I guess you could because this does trade around the clock. But again, it's like you want to trade when the volume's there. There's no reason to trade outside of the volume. Now, this is something different for gold. Obviously, gold's going to be choppier on lower time frames. So this, you know, we might not use that as an indication. But this is pretty clean, these back and forth turning points. You could smooth that out too while you play with it. It's going to work with any type of, honestly, like any asset on here. It's going to try to work, right? We don't know fully if it's going to trade similar to, but this is like a type of situation where we're, you know, developing a strategy that we might want to trade. Now, let's look at the Nasdaq. Let's see how that looks. Wow. Okay, I didn't even realize we're dumping big time. Nazi's gone. I do want to look at, you know, what, okay, geez, calm down. This thing is going, man. Hey, what a day. Imagine, look at this. Imagine if you just took the initial entry on that Neocloud flip, Mickey. We'd be retired. We'd be on a beach somewhere. Let's see. Original Neocloud flip was like this candle, this big guy. Stop loss up here. 24 points on the ES. Let's see. Wow, 68 points so far. What a move on that Neocloud flip. I mean, how often is it worth just trading the Neocloud flip? Like, this is insane.
All good stuff with Neocloud.
I mean, maybe scratch my trading strategy and you guys just trade the Neocloud changes.
I'm slowly going to convert you.
On the 3 minute. Like, this 3 minute Neocloud is like jaw dropping. Let me see here. Let's see here. That one there would have failed. Okay, past 2 days on the Neocloud flip for this sucker. Let's see. The Nazi. Boom. Stop below this low. Why not? Let's see how many hit a high. 178 points, but we go for the next flip, which would have been on this candle. Sadly, would have been kind of short, but 75 points. It was positive, right? So we flip back. Yeah, it should have changed on this one. It doesn't change on that one. It changed on a big candle. So changed 74 points in your pocket. Easy, right? Let's see what this did. You just flip it short. Like, you don't have to do much. You just set an alert and it does it for you. Flip it short. Swing at first above that high. Let's see. This one looked good. Oh, maybe not. Maybe this one failed. This one looked like it stopped you. I didn't even see that little blue guy. So this one would have stopped you, but not much. We're on the 3 minutes too. But its next partner would have done real well. This one, you're still in the positive. You're like 13 points stopped. Yeah. 13 points stopped on that guy. Now, you look for your next flip. Here's your flip right here. Short it out. Bada boom. Stop above that high. 81 points on that high. And this is where you're just sitting pretty right now. No Neocloud change. But this is where it's like, why not just, like, you have your stop above that high, right? Why not just go for, like, you just trail the Neocloud. You could trail the Neo. Wait. Or, hold on. Is a trend tracer, like, money for this? Let me see. Sometimes a trend tracer will follow pretty high. Nah, it's not. That thing fell down. You could actually adjust it. Wow. Let me see here. Reversal zones. We got 9 minutes until market close. Look like the algos actually took it there. That's what happened. I didn't realize we were 10 minutes. 350 Eastern. Algos step in. So it actually, it is 1 minute ago. So I mean, it actually wasn't during that time. I mean, there's algos from 345 to 350 too that step in. But yeah, man, what a day! I need to go back and look too at what could have been good on today with the. How's gold doing? Gold's just sitting sideways. The 15-minute. Still sitting there. This is a tough spot for it.
Let's start swinging some order blocks here.
Yeah, let's swing it. What are you swinging?
The entering on the 4-hour chart, swinging the daily order blocks.
Let's look at the strategy on the on the 4-hour. So like you probably get some even more bigger moves. Or breaking that Neocloud on the 4-hour right now. On 4-hour. Just ignore the gap ups. Man, this had a pretty aggressive breakdown there. That would have been. This would have been a setup here, but like, did it? I guess it would have hit like a half. Man, that's 30 points, man. That would have been a good day. 30-point trade. That's crazy. Broke over, breaking under. Will it break back over? That's the question. It is kind of cool to see the Neocloud right now on the 4 hour for the ES already bullish. Like, let's go to the NQ. NQ's bullish as well. So I wonder, we could have this setup on a higher time frame in the next few days. It'd be cool to see end of week for the Neocloud entering and exiting. Breaking and we need a name for it. Breaking and booming. Breaking and booming. There you go. Nat gas. Break switching. Nat gas look bullish as heck. Or sorry, bearish. That's my bad. Don't listen to me. Bearish. Looks very bearish. Anything you liking over there, my friend?
I'm looking at the nat gas on my chart, and it's hitting a major daily order block below.
Nice. Let me see here. Yeah, so how would you go about trading this? Let's see there. Show us. If you were to take a trade on nat gas in the next few days or so.
I would be looking for longs, to be honest with you.
Like now, you'd look for longs?
I would be on a 4 hour nat gas chart. According to my rules, I'm only looking for longs.
Right, but would you be entering like today?
Yeah, I mean, let's take a look. I mean, you see this candle right here? I mean,
Yeah.
it's hitting this daily on 4 hour being overlapped. So this is a major level. Look, let's squish this up a bit. We have huge overlaps here, right? I turned on all the overlaps. So the only safe play for me is looking for longs at this point. Let's take a look. I really don't know the answer. You know, this is the first time.
That's a breaker block, isn't it?
Yeah, but here I am only looking for longs right now. You know, am I going to get some good scalps? Why not? But at least I'm on the right side of the trade, right?
Right. Yeah.
At least I'm in the right direction, right? I mean, somewhere in here, you know, you're going to have to decide how you're going to enter. As we've discussed, so many ways, right? We have to figure out, you know, what strategy that you believe in, and just do it, rinse and repeat. You know, look how many tries you've made, right? Multitudes of tries, but your account is not being wrecked and it's not being blown.
Right.
You are safe. You know, that's the way I trade. I'm looking for longs at this point. For shorts, it's going to be a long while before I'm going to look for a short. Okay.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like what you're like. I mean,
Yeah, so
we also have, if you look,
say
you're on a 4 hour. Yeah.
And here's the 4 hour, right?
Is that a daily? What order block is that in?
I've got dailies and 4 hour.
The order block it's in right now is a daily, though, is what you're saying?
Oh, it's overlapped. Both.
Oh. I'm trying to see, like, on mine.
Oh, let me see. I may be wrong. Hold on.
I have
see?
a 4 hour sitting there, but it's not.
Oh, I have overlaps on.
Like, hide them or no?
No,
Yeah,
show them.
Yeah.
Show them.
So it's funny.
Daily.
I do have, that's a daily there, that one?
These are dailies.
Okay, hold on. Let me go.
Let me turn off the daily.
That makes sense.
Let me turn off the daily and I'll turn on my 4 hour. It's the same level.
Okay, the daily.
See?
Hold on, wait for my dailies to load in.
I am looking for longs. Where I'm going to look for shorts, it's going to be a long time coming. I am not even, look at this. This is where I'm going to look for shorts. I'm going to pass up all this right here. There's going to be some nice trades in here, but I have to follow my own rules, right? If price comes into this junk, right, in here, why do I force myself to enter in a trade? I'll just look at another symbol. That's all I got to do. Okay. Hopefully you understand that.
True.
You know. So as long as we've been on live sessions, and as long as I've shown this 4-hour order block simple concept strategy, I think I have to be honest and say it's actually pretty safe, right? How many months have we been doing this? 3 months so far, right?
Yeah.
And I've shown a lot of examples, pulled up any kinds of symbols that anyone requests. You know, for some reason, the 4-hour order box is so much safer for me. You know, it may not be for you. You just got to test it on your own.
Right.
Once you test it on your own, then you will believe in it. You just cannot believe me. Don't believe in anyone else's strategy until you test it for yourself.
Right.
Once you have buy-in on a strategy, and that's when it's going to start clicking. I just can't follow Jacob's strategy tomorrow and start making money. Because if I get a losing trade, I'm going to be so pissed, and I'm going to look for another strategy.
Yep. Yeah. You have to really stick to one at a time, guys.
I need to practice on someone else's strategy, like Jacob's strategy.
The minute,
his strategy, I need to practice and be good at it so I can have buy-in, so I can believe in it. Once I believe in it, then that's when it's going to click. I'm going to be good.
Exactly. So we got a nice 3 p.m. close there. We can take a quick look at where we're at on all of these majors, see where tomorrow might end up trading. I'm just readjusting my charts here. Sorry, guys. 1 sec. I want to see kind of where we're hanging out at. Yeah, cool. Went over a lot today. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We're almost at 3 hours. So 3 hours definitely. Oh, yeah, actually, forgot. We do have after hours earnings right now. Let's look at.
Tesla, here we go.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up my chart here. You got Netflix pumping for a second. Obviously, this could flip on a dime any second now. So don't get all excited because of the first move.
Tesla is tanking.
Tesla tanking?
It's hitting some order blocks.
So guess what? It hasn't. I don't think it's fully reported yet. Yeah, they're just chilling right now. They tanked. They tanked today, but they haven't fully shown. Wow, Netflix still going for now. It's still early on Netflix here on its post market. 5% up at the moment. Let me pull up. See if we can get a. Let me pull up Benzinga and see here. We can probably see the actual report. So I was curious to see how Netflix would do now that it's been gone or been down so much. What is this? Hold on. Is it on my other browser? Benzinga. Hold on. Yeah, it is. What is this? Yeah, that loaded. What the heck? I might have to pull up a different load. Sorry, it's trying to load for me.
Netflix on the 4-hour could be a swing fib entry to the downside, to the next order block.
Yeah, tomorrow maybe.
Let me flip it to my chart. I'm going to show you what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, no, I see it right now. Yeah, I'm going to try to
sell. Yeah, look at it. Look at this order block right here. This could be a target.
Let me see here. I want to see their numbers. Tesla is starting to dip now. Let's see. It might dip and rip. It's still not down much. 1.5% right now, Tesla. Let me see. I'm really trying to get this up for you guys. Hold on. Let's see. Why isn't that pulling up? He calls on Ford. What is my... Hold on. Sorry, guys. For some reason, my Benzinga doesn't want to load. Oh, there it goes. All right. Yeah, here, let me get you guys over here. I'm gonna have to pull up my other browser though. One sec. Here. Boom. All right. Netflix Q3. EPS 373. 373 beats estimated at 346 by 7%. This 20% increase over earnings of 310 per share from the same price a year ago. Company reported sales of 8.54 billion, and it beat it. So I mean, it's right on it. Honestly, not by much. We're getting that pump because of it. It's currently up 7%. I mean, it makes sense with a beat that it runs because it's been down so much. You can see here global streaming paid net additions 8.76 million. So that's good. Obviously, that probably came from them kicking everybody out, more than likely. But let's look at Tesla. Did they release? Tesla, it did release, but Benzinga didn't have it yet. I am also, there's no reason to pay for Benzinga, by the way, unless you really want in-depth information. You can get all this for free on Benzinga Pro. It's pretty nice. It's just basic news updates. You don't really need anything too crazy. 3,500 vehicles. Let's see here. Honestly, let's go to upgrade your subscription. I forgot you can only do one. Did Ford have? Did they release today? I'm not seeing that. Let's see here. Hold on. Wow, Netflix, 9% now. Good job on that if you guys longed it. We had Martin Transport beat, looks like. They're currently, I don't think that's reporting right. All right, here you go. Up 5. No, that's not. They're changed. They're not taking after hours because probably have to pay for the after hours. So far, Netflix, though, only thing we're actually have numbers on, which is solid. I wanted to see Tesla if it's still. Tesla's waiting. It's down 1% for now, but it is just waiting. Can I pull up? Let me see here. Let me go back to that. Sorry, guys. One sec. Sometimes you can pull up like the chart. Candles. It's probably gonna be delayed. Yeah, it is. Yeah, so it's not gonna show its after hours thing here. It's delayed. You might see it here in a sec, actually. It's 15 minutes delayed, but it is up as of now. Here we go. Tesla's coming. A second. Why is that? There you go. Tesla. Boom. 66 misses. Over 73. Sales miss as well. 23B. Estimated 24. Currently, it's green, though. 50%. 50%. Gosh. 0.5%. My goodness. 50% would be crazy. 0.5% green at the moment. This is why earnings is crazy. Just because it misses doesn't mean it's going to die. A lot of earnings coming out right now. But here you go. Production, 430,000. I don't know what was estimated on that. I need to adjust my screen share here so you guys can see it better. As long as you can see a little bit there. Netflix, though, let's go back to that, see where it's at. Tesla's up only 1%. Netflix, you got it there. Wow. 10% now on Netflix. A lot of people are going to get paid big tomorrow. I mean, honestly, not a bad play. We talked about the underestimated EPS that it's been having the past few quarters, just to kind of help it get its price back, because it's been down so much. Like if we go look at the chart again, you can see from its all-time highs here. It was down 27%. Now, with this 10% jump, obviously, we're seeing it at down 20% right now. After this, tomorrow, maybe we'll see some decent buying action. Of course, we still have these earnings calls, right? So because of the earnings calls, here you go. This is why. Let me see. Let's go to Tesla time, because the earnings calls can adjust based on what they're predicting their outcome to be. Tesla's flat right now. I should honestly change the title to earnings. Tesla's flat right now, though. I mean, they've just been missing, or not missing. They've been decreasing on their EPS for a while now. But we know Tesla, a bunch of randos are going to buy it again, and then it's just going to go back up. But let's look at that report one more time there. Tesla operating income decreased year over year, 1.8 billion. So that's good. So that's probably why it's staying. Wait, no, sorry. The deliveries. I thought I was saying operating expenses. Sorry. But the operating income, which is interesting, was decreased 1.8, resulting in a 7.6% margin. That's not bad. That's pretty good. Deliveries, though, that's probably why it's holding off. Deliveries. CVS, did they report yet? So we don't even have it on here yet. We'll see where Tesla ends up. I mean, it's up 1% now.
It'd be interesting come market open tomorrow on these assets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, day after earnings can be really fun to trade. Las Vegas Sands, though. I wanted to see that, actually. LVS there, Mickey, in your hometown. Let's see what they... how they're doing. It looks like they...
Always long it.
They beat 55 over 53 estimate. Beat revenue as well. 279 versus 269. So 100 million beat on that. LVS. Wow. They're up 4%. Let's see. What are they? They've been a decent... Yeah, man, they're down recently. So that'll be a nice bounce back for them. They've been beating, though, which is nice. Quarter 4 last year, they lost quarter 3 and 4, and now they're beating, which is really good. But it's funny to see the price reaction because of that. But cool.
All right.
Cool. All right, guys, that probably concludes. Let's see, Netflix guidance. Yeah, there's your guidance. That guidance is everything. Forecasted to 20%. So that's everything you need to know. Yeah, we were saying Tesla, the earnings didn't come out yet. It's just usually that's what happens in earnings. You'll have people buy, sell before earnings, and then once it releases, you'll see a big move. So like if it moves down like a tiny bit, like right after the bell, or it moves up just a tiny bit, don't ever take that seriously. That's why it's like that first initial spike on like Netflix. You want to wait at least probably 5 minutes after that initial spike to make sure it does hold that price. But Tesla's now kind of rallying a little bit, so that's good. But yeah, I think that's a good place to call it there, Mickey. This is a nice 3-hour stream. Well, we probably won't normally do 3 hours, but like 2.5. But we appreciate you guys hanging out with us for as long as you did. I a decent of you were here for the whole time, so we appreciate that. But again, come hang out with us in the Discord. There is a free section of the Discord. When you do sign up and you get the 30 days risk-free, when you click that big button on our home screen here, you get the 30 days risk-free, you do get access to the Discord in the VIP section that we're in. That comes with the indicators that you sign up for. You just click that button, sign up, 30 days, money back. Make sure, guys, if you are interested in other indicators that we might have that are completely free, go to the library on our website. Just click the library tab. We're releasing indicators there every single week. So as you can see here, this week on the 16th, we had one. The trend lines, it's a new concept around the trend lines. All of these are going to explain in the descriptions of what they do and how to use them. Different types of styles, like here's another machine learning indicator that we released. And then we have, like the Donchian MA bands, which is another type of trading style, range detector for range breaks, stuff like that. Of course, you can click on these here. You can say, I want one based on volatility, signals, volume, like just a strategy in general, Fibonacci, whatever you want, you can type it there or search it just by, whatever you're looking for, smart money concepts. So that really helps seeing, what tabs you can click, as well as we do have multiple platforms. Like we have some of these indicators for TradingView, for the meta traders, both 4 and 5, and Thinkorswim. So like if we go here, like this market trailing stop is available for Thinkorswim, as you can see right here. You just click get access. I'll tell you how to get access. That's for all these indicators. If I click under the platform here, which you can't see, but I can click Thinkorswim or I can click all. All of these are available on TradingView. Not every single one is available on Thinkorswim and MetaTrader and all that, but they will eventually be. If there's something that you really want on another platform, just reach out. Let us know. We can possibly get that converted for you at some point. We put it at the top of the list, maybe if it's a significant amount of people. But again, check that out, man. Library is really cool. We're constantly releasing indicators on there, new concepts every single week. But again, resources and guides. If you want to learn more about our premium indicators, go to the resources and guides. It can really teach you about what you're going to get within the indicator suite. And there is a link to the Discord at the bottom left of that as well, to join me and Mickey there in the chat for sure. But hanging out there, trading every day, we go over like the strategies that we talked about today. Like we'll, try to develop strategies together. Plus there is a pro strategies section in there too that you'll get when you unlock the membership as well. So a lot of things. We have a scanner in there that premium traders get, or premium members get as well, that can help you identify when multiple assets are setting up for the next move. So hopefully this was entertaining for you guys to hang out with us. We appreciate you joining us, and we'll probably be back either tomorrow or on Friday, but one more time this week for sure. We'll be back. Mickey, anything else you want to leave us with?
No, I'll be here for the rest of the day. Just tag me in the room if you need any clarification.
Mickey nonstop. He's like, I'm gonna go right back to the chat right now.
But it's all good. Love it. I'll be around.
Well, we appreciate you guys, and we will see you later this week. Have a good rest of your day, and stay safe out there. See ya.